How's it going, everybody? I'm Kyle from Fantasy Forge Studios, and we are back with some Adventures of Middle-earth. Very excited to be here, joined with all of our players tonight. Nick was here just a second ago, but he dropped. He's been having some internet issues, but he's here. Not to fret, no worries. Yeah, we're very excited to get this sucker started. Crazy last session and leaving it off at a very intense, quite climactic point. And so with that being the case, let's go ahead and jump into introductions from our players, starting here with Valinith.
Hello everyone, my name is Dain or Forge here at Fantasy Forge. I play the High Elf of Rivendell, Valinith. He is a scholar, meaning he's got all the heals, he uses a bow, and he's gonna be fighting some spooters today. Hopefully his archery prowess comes in handy.
Absolutely, absolutely. And next we have Theodric.
Can't hear you.
Hey everybody, I'm that Tommy Australian. I play Theodric Grimborn, our Slayer from Rohan. He is our 17-year-old baby of the group, and he's hoping to fight some spiders and protect his friends.
He's hoping to fight some spiders?
I'm not.
I mean,
hopefully they're not there.
Yeah, maybe they went home.
We can hope, right? You know, I'm sure. You know, the spider webs are just a sign of the spiders not being around, right?
Yeah. And the constant chattering you're hearing all around you.
And
oh no, that's just the trees.
We're chasing a guy who was being dragged physically into the forest by spiders.
He did run off.
Okay, admittedly, we're probably going to be fighting a lot of spiders.
But Theodric's excited, right?
The silence is everything.
Theodric's rethinking his life choices.
That was pretty good.
Which brings us to Jalen.
Hello, yes, I play Jalen Grinfold. I'm also SpiderFan33 in the chat. Spiders, importantly, does not include giant arachnids the size of a horse that are trying to eat us currently. Important to know. Yeah, what am I hoping to get out of this session? I'm just hoping that my pet dog, Rufus, doesn't die to spiders, because that would be bad.
That'd be really bad. And to be honest, he's skinny and probably doesn't have a lot of meat on them bones, so that would be unfortunate too.
Yeah.
So.
Well, we can feed Belgo instead.
Yeah, let's do that.
Save Rufus, feed Belgo. Feed Belgo to the spider.
Makes perfect
Hey
sense
Nick,
to
welcome
me.
back to this chaos.
Chaos is the only reason we play.
Yeah, it's good. It's good. I will say though that you said that you don't like the big spiders the size of ponies, but don't you live in Australia?
We lost him again.
Yeah.
I mean,
I don't like spiders no matter what their size is.
I feel like that's the one
time.
place in that's the one place on Earth
no.
that
Spiders
there would
in
be.
Australia is honestly fine because the kangaroos eat them all.
You're right. They just hang up and they just fly and they create massive sky webs that just overlap neighborhoods.
I mean, technically they're ground legs because the whole continent is upside down.
True.
True.
And in the process too, while they're flying through the sky, you just hear in the distance Carmina Bruna getting louder and louder. Just come closer and closer.
I've seen
anytime
pictures
we
of those
hear that,
trees.
we just drown it out with Nutbush, and then we do a little dance to scare them all away.
You call upon the birds to feast.
I've seen those pictures of like those parks that are just like completely like white because of it's all spiders and all web. I've seen those telephone poles where literally there's just, the entire sky is spiders. I've seen that.
Thankfully, I've never seen it in real life. At least.
Just be glad you've never had to like walk through.
You gotta go further south.
Like this far apart,
Further south.
and there's like a massive spider web in the middle.
That sounds terrible.
Oh,
Absolutely
Nick,
terrible.
your cam isn't working. We can hear you now, though.
We can hear you.
Yeah.
I mean, that's something.
Yeah. My internet's. I think I need to give my computer a chance.
No
To
problem.
try and load. So for the moment, I'm just gonna have no cam.
No problem.
Fair
It's
enough.
perfect too because it's your turn to introduce your character.
This is
and
true.
yourself.
Go for it, Feanor.
Yep. I am Feanor, the Mirkwood Elf Slayer. He is currently leading everyone to their deaths. Woo! Yeah. Let's hope we can fight these spiders, retrieve Baldur, and I'm assuming the other thing was the pony. I don't think it's going to be any good. Let's see. Let's hope we can get Baldur back and not have Belgo die in the process, because I feel like that's many points of shadow. and it's bad that a child died.
Oh, what? What?
Yes,
That's
as well.
Yes, especially
Yeah.
after being coaxed into going and basically being like, all right, strap up your boots, we're going in. Here's your bow, let's go.
Is he even gonna be able to fight? I mean, we gave him combat lessons, didn't we? Oh,
He
there's
will
so many
not, no.
questions. There's
We
so
just
many
hope he has to-
questions.
Let's hope he gets
We
into
will
a melee
sacrifice
combat with
Brown
the
Horse
spider
to
and
be
he can
with him.
show.
No, Brown Horse is back with the others. He's the only
Oh,
protection
God.
the others have. It's all good.
Okay, well, we'll sacrifice them then.
You mean Rufus? You're right.
No, I meant.
Yeah. No.
Or did I mean Valinor?
Yeah.
Valnus is gonna be doing his best to protect Belgo, you know. So it might come to that. It might come to him being a spider bait.
And with that, a lot of talk about spiders, but I swear it's on topic. But I am Kyle. I am the lore master of this here game, the DM, playing both with and against these players as they venture through the world of Middle-earth. Adventures to Middle-earth is a D&D 5e campaign that takes place in the years between The Hobbit and Lord of the Rings, and they're currently in the throes of Mirkwood, venturing with Baldur and Belgo, to merchant and his son, through Mirkwood to get to Woodman Town, more likely Woodman Hall, to do some trading, as they are, that's how they make their living. And upon saving basically the two of them from a group of terrible bandits, the group that we have, our company, have been hired to protect the caravan, and one thing has led to another, and now they are traipsing all the way through Mirkwood to go to try to save Baldur after he drank from a magical stream that drove him crazy. A lot happened in the last session, but most importantly, they found their way to sit down beside a nice little crick, where it was fine to drink at first, but as soon as night fell, unfortunately, it became enchanted with magical powers, to which it made Baldur completely forget where he was and who he was with, sending him fleeing into the depths of Mirkwood. The party, in a scatter, attempted to follow him. Diving headfirst, Feanor, on top of Nim, tried to track him down, but unfortunately found that he had entangled himself in webs and had been drug off deeper into the woods. Making his way back to the party, they set basically about figuring out how to retrieve Baldur, and what the repercussions of all that were going to be. Whether they were going to take Belgo, whether they're going to take the ponies and horses, whatever was going to happen. In the long run, what they decided on was everybody was going to be going, including Rufus and Belgo, into the woods, led by Feanor and Nim, and leaving the ponies to be protected, tied up, to be protected by Baradarok back at the camp. They had made their way about 30 minutes into this forest, and as they got deeper and deeper and deeper, following this dragged path, they can see that the trees themselves have begun to be intertwined with thick white silk webs, and they can hear constant chattering up in the treetops, unable to see as it is so dark within the dense foliage of Mirkwood. They just keep following this body in order to discover where Baldur had been taken. And with amount of time that passed, like I said, about 30 minutes, they stand before an impressive sight, an ancient old-looking castle. So a castle stands on a low hill amid the sea of green trees. It's anybody's guess if it was elves or men who built this castle, but it has fallen into ruin at no mistake. No trace remains of defensive walls or outer buildings. All that remains are a single round tower, a part of what must have been once a part of the keep. The keep has crumbled and collapsed in on itself, leaving only one corner still standing, an L-shaped wall. Both tower and wall are covered in a dense shroud of cobwebs and web strands that run beneath the tower and the walls. You're barely able to make out at the very far end, hanging from the very top of the wall, is a wiggling bundle of webbing. It must be Baldur. And with that, we're going to go ahead and jump our players into... We were talking about this before stream. Perhaps their first real combat encounter, or technically their fourth combat encounter. I guess it's... Yeah, fourth combat encounter.
Well, we don't know if it's combat yet.
That's true. That's true. You are not currently being attacked.
Stealthily.
The spiders could have gone home.
We haven't rolled initiative. It's fine.
This place that I'm looking at right now looks like the stuff of nightmares. As someone who has arachnophobia.
I do have to admit, this does look like a place that the spiders have not gone home from.
True. True.
Maybe they've gone out to the shops to get some milk.
We're gonna need some milk soon, I'll tell you.
Sometimes you just need some milk. And so, with the party making their way up to the gate, this decrepit gate that the iron bars themselves have been completely rusted off, they see that it is completely shrouded in spider webs as they see this looming tower in the distance, and what looks to be a set of bramble that has grown up all amongst the sides and the walls. Looks thick and it looks very sharp. I'm going to give you a moment to figure out what your plan of action is going to be.
We burn it all down.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was gonna say. It has we can still hear the chattering and stuff like up in the eaves and whatnot.
Yes,
like, it's
absolutely.
close by.
It's all around you. So one of the things about Mirkwood that is so disorienting is this chattering, and this is something that Feanor is actually quite used to. The way the acoustics in Mirkwood is it's very difficult to tell by sound alone, like how far something is from you. It could be right above you, or it could be like yards away from you in any direction. But from what the sound of it is, it does sound looming and it does sound close.
Valnith's been keeping an eye out because as we've been running, he's just trying to protect Belgo, and so he's been trying to at the same time try to spot these spiders with what he could hear. So was he able to spot anything at all?
Make an investigation check for me.
Okay. I like how you on purposely do investigation because it's the one I'm bad at.
Oh, is
thanks.
It? I had no idea.
Thanks. It's all good.
It's intelligence.
Yeah.
It's not too bad.
Yeah, that's 7.
7. You squint your eyes and you look around and your brain plays tricks on you as if you see that there's a movement in the trees and movement in the webs. You don't know if it's wind or whatnot, but all you know is that the entire forest is alive and seems to be moving all around you. You're distracted in every direction while keeping your hand on Belgo's back. He sits there and he shudders. I can't see anything. It's so dark. And he just like looks like around all over the place.
I can't remember where he is. Is he with Rufus? Is he holding on to Rufus?
So if you look down here at your map, we got
in the middle.
Rufus has a pog. Yo, let's freaking go!
Yeah.
He's in the middle.
So cute.
He's
Part of the
basically
team, bro.
He's pinched between Jalen and you, with Rufus up in front. Feanor is leading the way on Nim, and then Theodric is basically right to the sides of you guys. So.
Okay. Valnith calls out, I can't see anything. The forest is moving itself.
Everyone, keep an eye out for loose earth. One of the larger spiders, the mother of those ones chasing us, hid underground, tried to capture Nim and myself. So keep an eye out for that. We're going into a courtyard into this stone area, so I think we should be fine. but look for what seems to be disturbed earth. And I want to try and look to see if I can see that same kind of disruption to the ground that I saw previously when I encountered it.
Make a nature check for me.
How's Belgo looking?
Terrified. Absolutely
Yeah.
horrified.
A 9.
That figures.
9, you look around, and one of the things that you do actually notice is it's decently... you can tell that this road, not anywhere in the near future, had been trod quite a bit. And so the ground has almost been pounded into this layer of kind of thick dirt as it kind of winds its way up this little hill that makes its way to the kind of decrepit keep here. But along the sides of the trees, there's dense foliage, and but you do not see anything, from what you can see upon investigation, of flaps in the ground that spiders could be hiding under.
No ambush prey.
Okay, cool.
Elves have something akin to dark vision, don't they?
Yes.
Okay, so
But a 7's not going to do a lot with investigation.
yeah.
And I
Can we
don't want
see
to
them, though?
understate this enough.
I'll ask you a question.
Well, yeah. 1 second. I don't want to understate this enough. Everything is covered by webs, and so what you see here on this map, I made it simpler so you can see. Essentially, there's webs coming from the tops of these trees, and they're connecting at every point on this thing. It's connecting over the top of all of basically every piece of architecture that's there. This looks like a living place for spiders, a nest, as it were, of spiders. And so by the sheer nature of you looking around, your vision itself is obscured because of the spider webs.
Okay, good to know. What do we do? Do we see Baldur at all? I don't see anything. Do we see Baldur?
You do. So
I think
you see a wiggling sack in this top corner, raised at the very top of the tower, about, from what you can see, ranging about 25 feet high.
Well, how are
I
we gonna
vote
get
for a
him?
mad dash.
I mean, I don't think we have much to go off of, Jalen. I think that might be our best chance. The quicker we're in here and out of here, probably the better.
Yep, in and out, no messing around.
Rufus, lead the way.
This seems to be a feeding ground of sorts.
Yes, well, not to put a damper on things, but with this great shield, I'm going to make a lot of noise if I try to do too much movement here. So it might be best for me to bring up the rear and stay with Belgo.
If we're
and
fast enough, then we won't
Smaug.
need to be quiet.
Yes, I'm not very fast either with all this chainmail and the great shield.
At the very least,
Okay.
if there's some way that we can maybe loose him quickly, I could attempt to make a shot from here and see if I can't loose some of the webs.
You know,
Would that
do,
be-
do we want to just
how-
go in loud and fast, or like?
I mean, he's 25 feet
I
up.
mean-
It's quite a bit. I think
No
it's-
more than you can't run in 6 seconds.
I guess. I mean, well, up. The thing is, I'm only about 6 feet tall. That's like quadruple my height. I don't know if I can reach him. I mean, we're gonna have to loose him somehow, unless anyone has any wise plans to do so. Otherwise, I feel like it's for naught. Otherwise, it might take quite a while. I don't want to get stuck in one of these webs myself.
And as you stand and chat about things to do, I'm going to have all of you make stealth checks. And these aren't movement based checks. And so for armor stuff, you don't get disadvantage for armor. But Theodric, because it is a skill check, I do believe that you still get disadvantage on it. So,
Okay.
13.
but if you're
the
like wielding
good
a
news
shield-
is you can't get double disadvantage on stuff.
That's true. That is true.
Wait,
13 for Valnith.
wait. I need to roll again, don't I?
You
It's a disadvantage. It's 2 rolls, and I take the lower.
Yep, that is correct.
Damn it! Because my first roll was an 18, and my second was a 9.
Okay.
I got a 5.
Okay. And Feanor is in the ether. Struggling
So
with
it-
internet.
It
should be
looks
in chat.
It
8,
looks
okay.
like that. Yeah, sneaking's not gonna.
So as you're all
Not for much longer.
as you're all discussing what's going on, your voices begin to rise and rise and rise, and immediately the chattering all around you goes quiet. Eerily so.
Okay.
Okay, I think we need
think
to
they
charge
know
them.
we're here.
Yeah.
Yes. Well,
I'm gonna
caution to the wind.
ask you all to roll initiative.
Oh my gosh.
We should have just charged in, guys.
I know,
don't
we're
what
too
we're standing around waiting for.
indecisive. It's fine.
I got a 12.
Hey,
You
same
would
with
get
Valna.
a disadvantage on initiative too because it is a dexterity check.
I don't have that because it's ability checks only.
Yeah. Initiative is a
initiative
dexterity
counts.
check technically, so you would have.
Isn't it a separate like?
No, it
I got a
counts as a
14.
dexterity check.
Okay.
Okay, well I still got a 12 because my other one was better.
Oh, cool. Very nice.
All right, Valinith.
12.
12.
Why did I roll?
Nice. What are your guys'
There it is.
stats? Dexterity stats.
14.
And mine is 12. So he'll go
So
first.
Valinith will go first.
Yeah.
Okay. Jalen.
3.
I'm gonna have you roll separate for Rufus
Okay, cool.
and
Oh no, poor Rufus.
and Feanor.
A 14.
14. Okay.
Does Belgo get an initiative as well?
He does get an initiative, to which he rolled a 4.
Oh. That's great.
Do I need to roll an initiative
Great.
for Nim?
Not because you're currently
Because I'm
riding.
currently mounted.
Yes. If you do end up dismounting him, then you will have to roll separate initiative for him.
Rufus got an 18, which I find hilarious.
Oh boy, he's ready. He's sniffing.
That is
Oh,
a
yeah.
speedy
He's
dog.
so psyched to fight some spiders.
It's just all so new to him. He just doesn't know what's coming. And with that, combat has officially commenced.
Mortal Kombat.
It is very quiet from what you can hear. All again, as I mentioned, all of the chittering that you could hear has all but ceased. One second, I want to go ahead and pull up my battle music.
Worse. As someone who has severe arachnophobia, this is literally the stuff of nightmares.
Yes.
Yeah.
All of the chattering has ceased, and from what you all can see, around the ground in the within the castle, you can see almost as if the stones themselves are moving.
Oh no.
There seems to be something crawling around on the ground inside the fortress itself. As you can imagine. But with that, you see, I'm gonna have both Valinith and Feanor have dark vision. Is that correct?
Yeah.
So hold on. So you guys are able to see about here, and Feanor's able to see about this far, meaning that you can just see Baldur struggling up in the top of the webs. And with that, Feanor, you actually see what looks to be a single addercop has made its way from the tree line, and it is large, about the size of a pony, as it begins to slowly climb. You begin to hear, all of you at this point, hear voices.
What is it? Oh, it isn't another snack, another meal. Feast while it's raw and wiggling.
As this happens,
I feel
you
like
can
maybe
hear,
I've met this one before.
you can hear other spiders talking in the distance, but you are unable to see them. Thus,
No, not raw. Stick them with poison, make their guts bleed. I like the taste of them dead and scratching.
As combat has officially begun. This one has come out into sight, but at the moment, that is all that you currently see. Which brings us to Rufus.
Oh boy.
I have no control over anything this time.
I've made multiple jokes about it, but please don't.
I can say you can make a reaction. Okay. You can make a reaction to give him any orders. If not, I will be controlling you.
Okay, so he's well trained enough to Okay, cool. I'll just point to Belgo and say heal.
Make an animal handling check for me.
I like it. Valineth, in the meantime, is thinking to himself, he's not saying this to anyone, but he's thinking to himself, we should probably just abandon this.
Good level 5.
Oh, Lord.
Rufus is just like...
Okay, do whatever you want then.
And he begins howling as he begins sniffing the ground. He makes his way 20 feet in this direction, and you can see him stop and just like point, like almost like he's like guiding you towards something, like point you in like the direction, kind of like with his nose and his like paw up and like his in the position. He's seeing something.
Okay.
And with that being
a true warhound.
And with that being the case, it brings us to Fainor.
Cool, let's hope my delay isn't too horribly bad. Okay, now that they know that we're here, no point in going in quiet. Everyone light your torches, I guess. Let's go burn some things. No, honestly, they didn't seem to enjoy fire. Keep it in your offhand, you know? If you're not using a bow, keep a torch with you.
And so you
I
can,
have one of those.
If you wish so, you can use an action to light a torch. On your turn.
Okay. Yeah. I'm gonna do that.
Okay.
And I'm probably going to move up just to next to where Rufus is. Not quite jumping down yet, but I just want to see if I can see anything, like any other spiders more directly, like above us or anything.
You move 25 feet up just ahead of Rufus, but you see immediately, you catch eye of what Rufus was seeing. On the ground, scattered throughout, a decent amount, what you can tell is a 4 or 5, what look to be smaller spiders, spider broodlings, freshly hatched, are crawling their way around blindly. Looking for something to eat, looking for something to chomp. These are much smaller than the addercops that you see, but they are still abnormally large size, probably about this size.
Oh!
Just crawling around on the ground, again, blindly. They don't seem to be going in any which direction. And with that, you can go ahead and you spot them here. Spot another one back here. Spot another one right here. And you spot the fourth one right here. And is that your turn?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, because I used my action to light a torch. I can't really do anything else.
Perfect. And with that, that brings us to Valineth.
So Valineth's going to reposition himself so he can see kind of into the camp a little bit, kind of see what Fanor's seeing. He doesn't want to move too far away from Belgo. He'll move far enough away, but like within like reach. Like basically, if something happens, he's able to react to it. So he'll move maybe like 10 feet. Yeah, that looks good.
5 feet up, so you can get a better position. Again, remember that there is a small slope that goes up, and so your field of view is blocked, so you can't quite see exactly what's on the ground, but you do have a decent vantage point of what's going on up here at the canopy.
Okay. Valineth is going to quickly whisper over. Is this okay? This doesn't count as an action or anything to
Yeah,
Fainor,
talking are not actions.
Okay. He's going to whisper to Fainor. I don't know what you see up ahead. I don't know what Rufus sees, but do you mind if I borrow some of that fire?
Yeah, and I I lean over and light whatever torch he's got outstretched.
Unfortunately, you are not close enough to be doing that.
Is there a way I can move closer then
Oh, yeah?
to be able to do so?
Yeah, now you can.
Just behind him.
Yep.
Okay. I'm actually gonna reach my arrow
Yeah.
an arrow out and light the top of the shaft on fire a little bit.
So as you do this, immediately it begins to ignite in flames. This is not an arrow that's specifically designed to catch flame and hold it, and it begins really rapidly actually burning up the shaft of your arrow towards...
Yep, and Valnus just immediately shoots an arrow up towards the webs in the general vicinity
on your map,
Baldor is.
point to me.
Yeah. So he's gonna shoot an arrow right up in here to like kind of light this area on fire to try to loose Baldor from here.
Okay.
If he can.
Yeah, go ahead and make
Like
an attack.
above him or below him?
Yeah, like above him. So that way, like whatever is
Okay,
like holding him in is.
I will say this: there is a
Yeah.
canopy that is of webs that are up here. You're going to be having to fire through a canopy of webs to basically. You're going to be catching fire everything below as it makes its way up.
That's fine. That's okay.
Cool.
Yeah.
So
okay.
I'm gonna put a little marker down. Put Fedor's token, and we'll flip it. Right here is going to be the spot that you're going to be firing, but go ahead and you're going to be making a attack roll, and it's going to be in the way. And so at first, I'm going to have you make just a straight D20 roll for me.
20. Okay.
Just straight D20, no modifiers.
Ooh. 9.
9.
Yeah.
You catch right at the front end of the web as your arrow just sticks. Yeah, but the flame... I'm going to have you make an attack roll for me.
Okay. Just with my bow, short bow.
Yep, damage.
Attack roll.
Yep.
Okay.
Sorry, I guess attack and damage is different. Damage roll.
That's 5.
5
damage. Yes.
And just sparks of these webs begin to catch, and
Okay.
very small at first. It's begun to smolder.
It's better than nothing, I guess.
And as this is happening, you hear. And
The flames, quickly, put them out,
All right.
yes,
Hellas takes some
5.
notes in his journal. Why, yes. I see. That's all he says.
Which brings us to Theodric.
Okay, Theodric is going to. Well, stealth out of the option, no longer an option. And he is going to move forward his 30 feet,
Okay.
which would be a little bit past Feanor, right? So I'm thinking more. Hang on, I'll just make it more like in this direction, like kind of to engage the enemy, like here or here.
Yeah, like that.
Yep.
Sweet.
And,
so you run up with shield in front, and you begin to see, and immediately within your general vicinity, you can see this spider, but you can't see anything else as far as your vision. But you can see that it is a big spider, but definitely smaller than what Feanor had described previously. And it's again, it seems to be wandering aimlessly with no sense of direction.
Okay, and as he passes Feanor and Velenith, he's going to call back. I'll try and draw as much attention as I can. Maybe if you guys could, free Baldor, or at least keep him safe until we've dealt with everything. That could be something we can do.
Astute, Theodric. We shall do just that.
And I guess if that's my movement, I will ready in action. And I'm just gonna kind of attack whatever comes within 5 feet of me.
Which brings us to Jalen. Oh, actually, no. That brings us to Belgo.
Belgo's got higher dexterity
Wait,
than
wait,
Joe.
wait, wait,
Well, he
wait,
got a
wait,
higher
wait,
roll.
wait,
He got a higher roll than me.
wait. What did you roll? Natural 1 or something?
No, it was like a 3 on the dice.
Oh,
or a 2.
Lord. It's okay.
Belgo,
It's
he
okay, we
says,
can all have it.
he looks over to you, Jalen says, what do I do? What do I do? As he's just like waiting for your call to be able to...
Oh, thank God.
Yeah, right? Yeah, whew.
10-year-old charging in.
He has a bow in hand.
It actually wasn't that one. I went back and looked. It actually wasn't that one on that initiative roll. So,
I like it.
Cool. If it's my turn.
Well, Belgo's waiting
It's
for your
Belgo's turn.
orders.
He's waiting for your order of what to tell him.
Oh, okay.
You're in babysitting duty, so babysit.
That bell, that bow. I couldn't think of the word. That bow Feanor gave him, it's like a training bow. It's not going to do much damage.
No, it's actually a legit elven craft bow. Like short bow. Yep.
It's a proper short bow. Yeah.
Okay. I seen him training. How good is he with it?
He's passable.
Okay.
Don't shoot through us.
If the target is big enough.
All right. I'm actually gonna pass him an unlit torch if I can.
Nice.
And just send him and point and just say, "Go help Feanor." No, not Feanor. Valineth, the other elf.
Well, yeah, that's good. We'll play tag team it. I like it.
Yeah.
Okay. He's gonna make a wisdom saving throw as he attempts to follow orders without being too distraught. Which he got a natural 18.
It's not my turn yet.
And he's going to
You're getting good rolls.
venture forward up to Valineth and says, okay, I've got the torch. Just look.
Valineth's gonna
tell
help.
me what to do, okay? Just tell me what to do.
Valineth instructs him on how to make torchlight, and he does it.
I mean, you could just probably use like one of the torches that you have there to.
Well, I think
light it.
Feanor's the only one.
So Feanor's the only one that has a
torch.
torch right now. So,
Yeah.
but he has his torch ready. He's made his way up. But because you did roll a natural 1, Jalen, your turn for this first round of combat is skipped. Which brings us to the top of combat, to which you can see a number of spiders have suddenly been alerted to the attention, not only with the light from Feanor's torch, but all of the noise that you have made.
Nice. I like it. It looks like we're fighting our way out.
I say, put that fire out. You just hear.
You hear all kinds of hissing and whatnot coming from the spiders all around. But with that being the case, you can see a spider has appeared in this treetop. And a spider has appeared in this treetop over here. And because this one was already in combat, it's going to go ahead and make its way.
I like this.
And it is going to attempt to shoot webs at Theodric here. And so, Theodric, I am going to go ahead and make an attack roll on you.
Yep.
Sorry, just to let everyone know, I'm joining in to Vault through another account, hopefully, so I'm not so delayed. So if there's any confusion to the players and Kyle when that happens, that's what's happening.
No worries, I appreciate it. Yes, the spider comes up and he peeks over the edge, and you can see Theodric now in the flame light. This giant spider has begun to crawl out, and as it begins to spit this web at you as it hurls. And with a natural 9, it is going to miss as the web hits the ground right beside you. And you can hear...
It's a fly. You'll be caught in my web soon, nice and juicy looking.
Which brings us to Rufus's turn.
Rufus the Destroyer.
Rufus the Destroyer.
Rufus is a good boy.
Watch him somehow nat 20 everything in his path and just tear these spells to shreds.
I would actually adore that. Can I use my reaction to try and get him to do stuff again?
Absolutely.
Awesome. Okay, I'm gonna try and tell him to stay.
Okay, go ahead and make an animal handling check.
My rolls have not been good tonight, so
Okay,
we'll see how this goes.
Welcome to my life.
Yeah, it's going round. I got a 9 total.
A 9 total. So
Yeah.
Rufus, he looks back to you and he sees immediately his attention is drawn up to his right, and he immediately starts barking at this spider that has now begun descending onto the ground in its web. Enormous. You can't see it. All you see is just Rufus's tension completely transfixed on this area that's up ahead, and he's growling, and all the hairs on the back of his neck have begun to stand. He is withholding his action if anything does come near this turn.
Oh man, I hope he bites the spider. I really do. I really do.
Which though then brings us to Feanor.
Cool. So Belgo came up with an unlit torch, right?
You're echoing, buddy.
You need to mute yourself on one of the things. I don't care which.
Apologies.
No worries.
Is that much better?
Yep.
Okay. You know what? Fortune favors the bold. I'm going to see if I can throw. I guess what? Sorry, I'm messing myself up with my audio. I'm going to see if I can light Belgo's torch that he has. I guess he's too far away.
Yeah.
I'm just going to throw my torch into all the little spiders, honestly.
Okay, absolutely. So that's going to be a 5, 10, 15, 25 foot throw. So I'm going to go ahead and have you make a ranged attack with that. So just a dexterity skill check.
A 5.
A 5.
Nice.
You throw it, and it catches itself in a web. But the web itself begins to light on fire. So not only is this starting to go out, but you have officially landed your torch here as it's begun. The glow is getting a little bit brighter. As the torches themselves are completely, the torch much more than the arrow is starting to burn and smolder.
Yeah, sweet. Other than that, I think maybe I will start to move up alongside Theodric, maybe coming into into the space next to him.
Okay.
Or maybe just ahead of him, honestly. But moving up there so I can get the brunt of the attack if it comes, and he can assist me.
Absolutely. I'm gonna actually go ahead and double this. All the fun Vorpal things. So these little webs are going to be fire. And so, with that being the case, you see full-fledged all the spiders, and immediately these small spiders are drawn to attention. You can hear. They don't have speech, as they are drawn towards essentially your noise. You can tell that they are completely blind. So they are drawn towards your noise, and the sound of Nim going, breathing heavily as these spiders begin to descend around. Which brings us to Valinith's turn.
Can Valinith see what Rufus is barking at?
Yes.
Okay. So he bends down to Belgo and he says, "Stay close to me, young one. This is the perfect time to use that bow." And basically is going to kind of take a little bit of a step in front of him, giving him cover just in case a spider attempts to get him a little bit. And he's going to shoot at that spider that is right here. Okay. So.
Yep, go ahead and make a ranged attack against him.
Oh, come on.
First
Come on.
attack of combat.
Why?
I guess technically
Walk
second.
out of
Spider
line.
shot webs.
Yeah, okay. No! Why?
It
It's a
could-
9.
9. You shoot up, and the arrow, about to hit its mark, gets caught in the webs that
Yeah.
are up in the canopy.
And Valinith said, turns to Belgo and he says, That's just a practice shot. I expect you to hit your mark, young one. And
I
we'll
can't
kind of
see
like.
I can't see anything. From his view, he can only see to about here.
Oh. Well, maybe you should light your torch then next turn, I think. Or
Can you show me how?
yes, and Valineth will spend the rest of the time showing him how to light a torch. Quickly. Quickly.
Which brings us to Theodric in his turn.
Okay, Theodric is raring to go.
So Theodric, from what you can see, so you see basically this 15-foot wall that like pretty much rises up in front of you with brambles all around. You can see with the glow of the webs a spider up here, but you cannot actually see the spider that is over in this direction.
Okay.
You can see these spiders that have come to attention though.
Okay. Theodric is going to move forward to engage this spider here.
So if you go this way, you're going to have to make a dexterity saving throw to jump over this bramble. Or you could go this direction around the long way.
I'm going around the long way.
That's your full 30-foot.
Yep. Perfect. Obviously, as a bonus action, I will be raging.
Yo, let's go.
And as you do so, Theodric, you remember your dream from a night ago. And you no longer see this basically fleshy-looking arachnid in front of you. Instead, you see a shadowy figure reach out to you as it begins to place its hand on your face, as if drawing you close. You begin to feel this deep sense of rage and anger overcome you. Sword in hand, you see now this fleshy, massive spider in front of you. It's not horrifying to you by any means. In fact, it's only standing in your way between you and victory over the shadow.
Oh. Okay, and with that, I am going to take an attack at this spider.
Okay.
With my longsword. That is a 13.
That'll hit.
Okay. And I get a 5 damage.
You, as you stab down, you notice that's completely fleshy. There's no like carapace or anything that is protecting it in any way, and you stab right at its rear, and you hear a squelching squeal. As you pin it to the ground, you pull your sword out, and it's still like moving around, but it does not seem to be feeling very good at all.
Okay. Excellent.
And with that, we jump down to the broodlings. And so it looks at you, and it rears back, and it jumps itself on you. And so it is now climbing at you, attempting to bite. These ones come around, and it is currently occupying your space. It has the swarm special ability, which means that as many of them can occupy your space as possible. So they're going to go ahead and all jump on you. I'm going to have you make a contested athletics check.
Oh. Okay.
Against four.
Oh, okay. So I just roll.
You roll one, and then I basically roll one.
Okay, that's a 17.
17. You shake all of them off, except for one.
Okay.
And this will basically, essentially, when it is on you and on top of you, it gets basically double dice to its roll. So not double damage, but double dice to its roll for its attack roll, and all the ones surrounding you get their normal dice. And so they're going to go ahead and make attacks. So the one on top of you is going to go ahead and make its first attack. And that is going to be 8, which does not hit. This one up top is going to make its attack against you. And it does a 16 hit.
No.
This one over here is going to make its attack against you. 17 does that hit.
No.
And then the last one down below is going to make its attack. And a 5 is not going to hit. As they just
I'm so glad I gave you that shield.
So
and they begin lunging and biting at you, but their small teeth can't seem to pierce through your armor. But this one that is crawling up on top of you has now restricted your movement down to half, as long as it is on top of you. You can repeat.
Theodric is going to call out. Just, Feanor, it kind of goes without saying, but be careful. The little bastards like to jump.
Oh God, it's in your hair.
Yeah, it's a lot of everywhere, really, but
I'll try to keep it in mind.
Which brings us to Belgo. I can't see what I'm supposed to shoot, but okay. And he takes out his torch. Okay, I'm going to have you make an intelligence check for me, Valineth. Oh no, make a survival check for me, Valineth.
Survival. Okay. Survival. This is my first survival check? I think it might be. Alright. Survival. What is it? I like how it's alphabetical. That makes it easy. Survival. Okay. Oh, it's good! 21.
21. You immediately look down behind after you loose your arrow, and you're able to take some flint out and immediately strike it on his torch. It just lights it on fire, and as he does so, he holds it up, and this entire area begins to be alight, and this spider has reached ground, and it is large and enormous, and he can now see what Rufus has been barking at as it just begins to rear up, as it begins about to charge at you. But that's going to be Belgo's turn, which brings us to Jalen.
Hey, I finally get a turn. Okay, is it an action to don a shield?
I would say it's a bonus action, but you already used... Oh, no. Actually, I would say it's a bonus action.
I used a reaction.
Yeah, you used a reaction. Bonus action.
Yeah, okay. Cool. I'll use a bonus action to don the shield of dedication.
Okay.
And then I'm gonna mosey on up to join the rest of the party. That's 30 feet, I counted earlier.
Perfect.
Now this spider over here is the big one, right?
Yes.
Fun. That is super fun. Okay.
Yeah, as you make your way up to Rufus, you see what he has been barking at, and with Belgo's light, you see this enormous spider. Basically coming in all directions. I'm going to have both Jalen, Valineth, and Belgo. I'm going to have you make wisdom saving throws for me.
Oh,
Fun. Okay.
Lord.
Let's see if we can get those.
Belgo got a 9.
21.
I got 11.
All of you stand firm with the exception of Belgo as he takes a step back. He's like, as he begins, as like the light shines, this enormous arachnid that has come and has begun rearing its fangs, and it immediately makes a jump.
Oh.
Whoa.
I'm going to
Valineth?
Valineth, you make a dexterity saving throw, and I'm going to have you roll a dexterity saving throw for Rufus as well.
It's my turn. Okay.
That's an 11.
I know, that's its reaction, so.
Alright, that's fine.
What was
yes,
that?
I'll just roll a d20
11.
for Rufus.
Okay.
Boink, 2.
2. He lunges completely on Rufus, and you can hear as it begins to wind as it's got it pinned down, about to take a bite. It is still your turn, by the way, Jalen.
Get off my dog. I'm gonna hit him in the face with hubris.
Okay.
Alright, let's do it. Natural 19, come on. I got a 9! That's not what I wanted.
A 9. You begin to swing down, and right off of its carapace, you can see that its legs are blocking as it's attempting to start wrapping up Rufus in a web. As Rufus begins to shriek. He is not going to be making an attack, but he is currently doing that at the moment. Which brings us to the top of the round. Immediately, the chittering has become louder, and the fire has begun to spread. That's not what I meant to do.
Good. I like that. Spread fire. Spread.
Stop flipping. Duplicate. This web has begun to spread 2 spaces here, and this one, now finally picking up flame, has begun to spread this direction up here. And so this entire web bridge that has begun is now on fire as it begins flickering, lighting most everything in this area, to which all of you are able to see another spider emerge out of the forest, this one walking on the ground, and this one...
Coming from behind, isn't it? Oh!
Down across as you begin to hear all sorts of basically calling out to you from all directions. And again, these are all in common.
Cool.
Your feeble attempts at escape. They only prolong your torment. Score, little one. It only adds to the exquisite delight of our feast.
These spiders are happy.
I'm sure they are.
They're going to be feasting well tonight. But with that being the case, the rest of the spiders that were already there are going to make their turn. So this one is going to climb. Over here, and it's going to become calling and chittering out into the forest. It's calling for reinforcements. This one down here, it makes its climb down at 10 feet. And it is going to launch a web at Feanor.
All right.
Is
like
a
just
15
found
going to hit?
It is not.
As it spits this web, Nymph is able to take a look, and immediately you're able to dodge out of the way as you see this spider climbing towards you, firing webs, attempting to grab you. And that brings us to this spider, as it's going to continuously attempt to, wrap him up in his web, to which he is going to make a dexterity check to do so. All right, and with that, Rufus is successfully tied up into a web, and he drags him back 15 feet.
Oh!
And you just hear squealing from Rufus. It is Rufus's turn. With that being the case, I'm going to have you make an athletics check for me, and because he's restrained, it's going to be at disadvantage. So I think for him, it's just strength.
Okay, cool. Cool.
Please. Roll D60.
Also, now
down.
you want the dog to live.
Well, I've always have. It's just a joke. 'cause he's got 4
just
HP.
straight, right?
Just straight strength.
16.
By the way-
I should
16.
probably get it. Yeah.
As he gets dragged away, you can see he is able to claw his way out with one of his
Wait,
paws.
he has a +1 to strength, so it's 17.
17. He takes his paw and just you can see it scratch along the ground as he refuses to be taken. He bites his way out. As he looks up, you can make one reactionary attack against the spider, whatever his attack is.
Very nice. It's probably like a bite attack.
By the way, Kyle, roll a D16.
Ooh. And that is an 8.
Okay.
Halfway there.
Well, halfway there.
Living on a prayer.
Okay. +3, so 18 + 3 is 21.
21. Yeah, that'll definitely hit. Go ahead and roll damage.
Okay, so it's 1d6 + 1.
Yo, he's so thick.
Is the target a small or medium creature?
He is a medium creature.
Oh, cool. So he has to make a, bro. That's max damage! So that's 7
Oh,
damage.
good boy, Rufus.
7 piercing damage, and make a DC 11 strength saving throw.
He may have to be a warhound after this.
That is going to be a 16.
Yeah, so he saves.
But Rufus does go up, and he chomps right at its little kind of face feeler plague things, and just rips one off. He's not going without a fight as he begins just kicking and trying to basically break his way out of this web. He's already freed one paw and his face. But that's going to go ahead and bring us down to Feanor.
Okay, just because I actually haven't had to experience combat on Nim yet, if I run forward, can Nim attempt to stomp one of the spiders and I stab another?
Yes, so essentially while riding him, you gain the charge ability. So if Nympharian moves at least 20 feet straight towards a target and then the rider hits the target with a weapon attack on the same turn, the target takes a bonus +4 damage. If the target creature is a medium size or smaller, which this is, small creature if you're going for this sucker, and then this one's medium, you basically, the creature has to make a succeed in a DC 13 strength saving throw or be knocked prone. So that's if you make a 20-foot charge in a straight line towards something, which you could potentially do if you make your way down here and charge forward. Or you can just go ahead and do the normal attack. As far as combat goes on Nympharian, you get one attack between the two of you. So you can either choose to stomp or you can choose to make a weapon attack with yourself. Once you train him, so you can do that, you can actually use his attack in addition to your attacks while riding. So.
Case, I probably will dismount him then, honestly. How long is that gonna be like full action? If anything, I'll just jump off of him if I can.
That's a bonus action.
Okay, yeah, I'm gonna hop off of him, and I am going to activate my rage, and I'm gonna try and hit the one that's on the ground in front of me. Oh no, the one that's on Theodric's face. And I'm going to kind of direct Nim, when I'm going to roll his initiative in a moment, to stomp the one that's on the ground.
Okay, so you're going to move your way up here and attempt to basically smack the one that's on Theodric? Yes?
Yeah, if I go up one space.
Okay, I'm going to have you, if you do that,
but then I'm going to try and get the one off of Theodric.
Are you gonna attack it with a weapon or just try to rip it off with your hands?
I'm gonna try and use just the back end of the staff that I have, or like the spear.
Okay.
Because I don't want to stab Theodric, but I also want to kind of knock it off of it.
So if you were gonna make that normal attack damage with the spearhead, I was gonna have you make an in the way roll, but I'm gonna have you just make a weapons roll, and then it's gonna be a D4 as far as damage goes.
Yeah, that's fine. 1 second.
Help me, Feanor. You're my only hope.
Yeah, this spider has made its way up to your shoulder.
Yeah, it's a 21.
Yeah, and you easily you smack it, and you can hear. Go ahead and roll for damage at it.
Yeah. I got a 4. I rolled a 4, sorry.
And with that, you were able to completely burst the brutaling that is on him, and you just wipe away the filth that's on him as these other spiders look blindly but attempt to still keep attacking Theodric. So yeah, you did that. Go ahead and roll initiative for Nim, and we'll add them to the initiative count.
He got a 6. Sorry, a 4. A 4, sorry. Because no modifier.
What is? Oh yeah. So he's gonna go before Belgo. He's definitely got a higher dexterity than Belgo, so he's gonna go before Belgo. All right, sweet. And with that, that brings us down to Valinith.
Valinith turns to Jalen and Belgo. Does he see the spider that appeared behind?
You can use a reaction to make a wisdom check for me.
I don't think he would. Would it be a bonus action or something?
Bonus action. Or no, reaction.
Okay.
Reaction.
Okay, I'll do that. That's fine.
Okay.
Let's see. And this is a perception, you said?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. That would be not great. 8.
You do not notice it. Hold down.
Okay. Well, he's gonna attempt to shoot at the spider then that's attacking Rufus.
And because,
so he's gonna be
because he is pretty much on top of Rufus, there's going to be no in the way checks, and so you can go ahead and just roll a normal.
Sweet. And he's gonna be Rufus, our warhound. Good work, buddy. And he's gonna shoot an arrow right through there into the thing, into the fray. Please roll good. I've been rolling so bad today. Oh, it's good. 19.
That'll hit.
Sweet.
Go ahead and roll damage.
That's 5. 5 piercing damage.
All right. And with that, you shoot this arrow right into kind of like one of his eyes that are blinking. As he just begins like screaming, but he still seems to be ready and wanting to consume his prey. He's still there. He's still rearing and ready to go. These things can take a beating, which then brings us to Theodric.
Okay, Theodric is going to take a swing at. Let me just. This one here, like right in front of him.
Okay.
With his longsword.
Do it.
Do it. An 8.
An 8 will hit.
Oh!
Okay, nice. I mean, they're the very little ones, so I'm not expecting them
flesh.
to have much
They're-
AC. That is 5 damage.
All right, and as you stab down into it, this time instead of stab, it's more of just like a basically axe chop down, and you're able to cut a number of its legs off, and basically wound the body pretty heavily. It is still up and it is still wriggling, which brings us to the broodlings. They're going to attempt to jump on you. This one. Go ahead and make a contested strength check.
Okay.
Or
I
athletics.
love it. It's so funny.
Athletics. Okay. That is a 6.
All right, all of them stay on top of you.
Great.
They're all going to attempt to make attacks at you. And if I do hit, it's double the dice for damage. First one is going to be a 4, which doesn't hit. Second one is going to be a 4, which doesn't hit. And third one is going to be a 7, which doesn't hit. But they are
By the
still
way-
on you, and your speed has been reduced to 0.
Just to remind Theodric, he also has a King's Cup if he needs it.
What's that do again? I actually forgot about that.
You roll a d4 plus, I think it's 1, and it gives you luck on a bunch of different skills.
Basically
I can look
on
it up
everything.
really
You
quick.
basically for the next
Okay.
I roll a d4 plus 1, and for that many days you gain luck on your rolls, and so
Okay.
it's pretty cool.
In case you need it. I feel like this
yeah.
is where something we need luck for, so.
I might next turn because I mean, thankfully for this turn, I'm good. I'm Gucci. Covered in spiders, but good.
Feanor's just there with essentially a fly swatter just whacking you.
I like it. I like it.
I love it. Okay, which though does bring us to Nim. What are we going to be doing with Nim? You can spend a reaction to give him a command.
Okay, what's his movement like? Would he be able to make it to the spider that's on top of Rufus?
Yep.
I'm just checking what he.
Yep.
I'm gonna tell him to charge the spider that's on top of Rufus, and basically I want him to hit it with his antlers.
All right.
So-
So you do so. Go ahead and make an antler attack as Nim just boom as he just slams his antlers into this spider. Maybe.
He got a 17.
17 will hit. Go ahead and roll damage. Which I believe for that one is going to be 2d6
It's,
plus 3.
Yes. Uh, 10 damage.
Ooh, buddy. Yeah, basically, he boom, basically pins the spider to the ground, to like the nearby tree that's here. Antlers completely inside, and as he rips it away, a number of legs fall off, but the spider continues hissing at basically Nim and Rufus that are here. Rufus is still tied up.
Animal
but-
buddies.
Yes, exactly. But with that, we're going to go ahead and jump to Belgo. He's going to go ahead and use his reaction to make a wisdom basic or a perception check. And with the 16, he turns around and notices the spider, and he drops his bow, and the spider begins to basically see him in the firelight, making its way down to the ground from behind.
I don't know if that's any better that he saw the spider. I'd almost wish he hadn't.
He is not lunging or anything, but that's going to be Belgo's turn. Which brings us to Jalen. Jalen, you are alerted the attention of the spider now. And same with you, Valina.
Excellent. I'm gonna move around here. I'm gonna try and stab it in the face.
All right.
Sweet.
You charge it, and you
Second time
begin
lucky.
to go ahead and attempt to. This thing is huge. As you approach it, it is enormous, and it expands just its legs. It's definitely shorter than you, but he's just.
It's face stabbing time.
Face stab. What
No,
do we
it's
get?
not.
What did we get?
I got a 9. It's the exact same as I rolled last time.
You begin to, and its legs block out of the way as it begins to rear up, showing its fangs that are underneath. And you can see in its elongated body out the bottom, it has a small stinger, not small, it's pretty large, like the size of my finger. And it's just ready in order to attempt to stab, which brings us to the bottom of the combat. And so, this web has begun to keep doing that. Duplicate.
Don't worry, Jalen. Hopefully Valnus got you. Hopefully. Do you still have your King's Cup that you got?
Who, me? No, I used
Yeah.
that ages ago when we were with the thieves.
That's right. That's
The
right.
entire basically castle at this point is lit up in flames. In every direction, you can see spiders crawling in from every direction.
It's too hot! It's too hot!
As they have begun to make their descent towards the ground. However, you do notice that the flames are starting to lick themselves dangerously close to Baldur.
Okay. All right.
Within 10 feet of him. Probably within 2 turns, the flames will be consuming him. Which then brings us to the top of the round. As another spider crawls down.
Oh my gosh. It's inescapable.
And another spider appears in the canopy here.
What do we do?
Along with a number of broodlings that have begun to creep their way out of the forest.
We're doing nothing against these dudes. The replacement rate.
Almost like it's a hopeless situation and we just have to, like...
I know.
You
try
have
and
walked
grab-
into a spider's nest.
Yeah, like, literally. There is no good outcome of this. The only hope we have is if we can grab Baldur and just GTFO.
And with that, this one climbs down 15 feet. And it begins to pounce itself on Theodric. Make a dexterity saving throw for me, Theodric.
Oh boy.
Come on.
That's a 16.
A 16. You're able to resist the initial impact as these spiders are crawling all over you. See this giant spider lunge at you, which you bring your shield up, and boom, it tings off of your shield, but it rears itself up, and it's going to attempt a stinger attack at you. And that is going to be a 20, not natural, a 20 to hit.
Okay, yes, that does hit.
I'm going to have you make a Constitution saving throw for me.
That is a 14.
You take 3 points of damage, and you can feel that this doesn't go too deep. The stinger doesn't go too deep into your flesh, not enough to be able to release any toxins into you.
Is that 3 damage halved?
It is halved, and so it's half to 1.
Okay.
Oh, 2. I
Okay.
guess it's rounded up, so 2.
Okay.
I thought damage was always rounded down.
Well, we're gonna
I could
round
be
it up
wrong.
for now.
Do whatever you want.
Rounding it up.
He is the god of this world.
I guess.
Actually, that's a good question. I'll double check it later, but yeah, I'll round it up.
Yeah. Tell me the sky is green. I won't question it.
And so this spider lunges itself at Feanor. Go ahead and make a dexterity saving throw for me, Feanor.
19.
19. Yeah, you easily are able to step aside as it leaps past you into this bramble. It is going to go ahead and make a saving throw, to which it takes 3 points of piercing damage. That's fun, as it does so, but it's going to turn around and attempt to bite you.
Yep.
Does a 13 hit?
It does not.
And so it misses. These other ones are going to go ahead and attempt to do their thing. This one, very mortally wounded, is going to attempt to strike at Nim. So he's going to go ahead and do a bite attack. Unable to lunge, he's going to just bite attack, and that is going to be a 9. Does that hit?
It does not.
And so he misses. This one over here that is fighting Jalen is going to attempt a bite attack at Jalen. Does a 14 hit?
Nope. Bounces off the shield.
Yeah, it does. And
Dedication.
who are we missing? I think that's everybody for now.
Mhm.
Oh no, this one.
He went into the fire? That's impressive.
Well, no. So the fire's in the canopy up above. So basically,
Okay.
these ones are now on the ground. They've all descended onto ground level, and they're not going to be shooting webs at you from the top, essentially. What that means. And this one's going to shoot webs at Theodric as it attempts to do so.
Poor Theodric.
Because Theodric, you are. I guess that doesn't really matter. This might hit. Maybe. Yes, that's a 21 to hit.
Yeah.
Okay. So you are restrained by webbing. As an action, you can make a DC 11 strength check, escaping from the webbing on a success. The effect also ends if the webbing is destroyed. The webbing has an AC of 10 and 5 hit points. It's got vulnerability to fire damage and immunity to bludgeoning, poisons, and psychic damage. But with this being the case, with you being, everything is going to be having from here on advantage on attacks against you. As they begin to do their thing. But that brings us down to Rufus, who needs to repeat an athletics or a strength saving throw for me,
Come on, Rufus.
Strength saving throw.
which is basically just strength check.
Yeah. I got it. Everyone, 14 plus 1 is 15.
15. Just completely ripping off the rest of the webs. He's able to ready himself and basically stand up. He is seen facing the spider that is attacking Nin. He can have one attack action, which he's going to take, unless you want to make any calls, but you cannot see this at the moment, Jalen.
No, I'm okay.
All right, go ahead and roll an attack against the spider.
Okay. Well, he has +3, so that's an 8.
An 8. He lunges and he bites, and he basically is able to nibble a piece of one of its legs off, but not enough to really do much damage.
Just a little nip.
Just a little nip.
A little nip.
Yeah, it's pretty intense as far as all this is going. But that does bring us to Feanor. So Feanor, you are now enthralled in combat with your back to Theodric and this spider basically pressing upon you.
I'm actually going to move around to the other side of Theodric.
Okay, he's gonna make an attack of opportunity on you as you do so.
That's fine.
Does a 16 hit?
It does not.
All right, yes. So you can move this way, or how else?
Completely just on the opposite side of Theodric to where I was.
Okay.
And I want to try and attack the spider that just webbed up Theodric, so the one to my left.
Perfect. You can go ahead and make attack against him.
Okay. I rolled sorry, 1 second. Just double checking.
I will say, you guys are actually, it might not seem like you're doing much, but you're actually holding your ground pretty good against these spiders.
I rolled an 11. Does that hit?
11 does not hit.
Okay,
You're able
so-
to whack it, and ping, it tinks off against its hardened shelled carapace.
Mhm.
And with that brings us to Valinor.
Does Valinith notice that the fire is going towards Baldur?
Yes, I would
all?
say you absolutely do.
Okay.
That's something that's very obvious. You're not looking for anything, so.
Valinith closes his eyes for a moment and not whispers, but like kind of breathes out to Belgo. Stay close, young one. And Valinith is actually gonna move. He's gonna try to position himself in a way that he can make a shot towards here to try to loose him if he can.
With all the fire and everything going, you could probably make your way anywhere within here is going to be
Yeah.
good.
Yeah, so he's gonna move right here. Right here. Right here.
Just below Theodric then?
Yeah, just below Theodric. And he's going to attempt to shoot an arrow at this to lose him.
I'm gonna have you roll a straight D20 in the way check.
Oh gosh. So I do have an inspiration that I can use. Can I use it on this roll if I need to?
Yeah, if you need to. But don't tell me your results, but if you feel it's in need, you can absolutely use it on this.
Okay.
Okay, let me tell you, this is a mechanic that everyone needs to know of. So, like,
Yeah.
the way that cover works is when you're making it in the way check, it is basically like anything with half cover or more. And it starts at a DC of 10 for half cover, and if they're more obscured, it goes up higher. And so, right now, you're probably looking at a DC of 10, just FYI.
So if I hit a 10,
make
theoretically,
your
if
shot.
I hit a 10.
Yes.
Okay, I'm gonna save it. I got a 10 on that, so.
Hey, let's
Yeah.
go.
So okay. So and then I can just make a shot straight up.
Yep,
so I'm
just-
going
just-
for webbing that's keeping him up, basically, if I
Okay.
can see that.
Okay. What do your elf eye see, Valinith?
That's a dirty 20.
Dirty 20 is going to
So-
hit. Go ahead and roll damage.
That is 5 damage.
And with that, whoosh, your arrow flies through the air with just enough damage needed in order to drop him thudding. He's going to go and he's going to take some damage, though, from that fall.
course
That is
he
a
is. That's a
15-foot
fine,
fall.
though.
So, and that is going to be 7 points of damage.
It's okay. We can
As
heal
you
him
can
later.
You can see his body goes limp.
Okay.
But you made your shot and you hit your mark. So
I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry.
Oh, it's not us you have to apologize to. It's Belgo.
Oh, yeah, well, hey, he could have just been at least died by spider food. So. it's good.
No, because he was definitely wiggling before he shot his gun.
Oh, he went. I mean, here's the thing. He could have been eaten by spiders.
He'll
Still
be
alive
fine.
and
He'll be
wriggling.
fine. He'll be fine.
Okay,
Sure.
yeah, I'll go with that. I'll go with that.
Theodric, it is your turn. You have currently spiders
Okay.
on you. I'm gonna have you make a strength saving throw for me.
Okay.
Come on.
Okay, that is only an 8, but
But you can King's
I
Cup.
can King's Cup. And I will, in fact, King's Cup. So how do I do that?
Kyle rolls a d4 plus 1.
Okay.
And that's gonna be a 4.
And
So
I remove
5
that
days.
Victoria,
Wait.
or do I leave it?
No. It's a 4 total. 4 days.
Oh, 4 days.
Okay.
That's pretty good.
4 days.
Take that.
Sweet.
what
And
is
so
that?
if you're feeling lucky, essentially it's a reroll. You have to take the second result.
Okay, well, yeah. Okay, better strength rate. Come on, baby.
No, like I said, you should be able to. You have advantage on strength saving throws because you're in a rage.
Do I?
Yeah, that's part of your rage. You gain advantage on strength checks and strength saving throws, but not your attacks.
Oh.
So you automatically get an extra strength check there.
Oh, well, that's way better because I just got a 23.
Yeah, definitely. You shake all of them off. In fact, they go flying in every which direction. And these ones that basically got thrown further, they are prone.
Okay, what did you say I had to do to break out of the webs? Was that was just a contested strength check, or?
Essentially it's a strength saving throw, or somebody can attempt to break them like Valnith just did.
Okay.
Like attempt to cut you
seems
loose.
I'm going to try and break it myself.
Okay, make a strength saving throw for me. Oh, no, strength check. Sorry, strength check.
Oh, strength check? Okay. Strength check.
Which will make it just a normal roll because you have disadvantage from your exhaustion, but advantage from your rage.
That is a 17.
Boom! You flex and you just tear all the webs off of you. Yeah, you are pissed, and you are seeing that there are spiders on all sides of you. With basically, you have Valnith at your side and Thanor at your back, just completely surrounded by spiders on all sides. You are still in this rage, determining what you are going to do. You can go ahead and make an attack.
Okay. As Theodric winds up to attack this spider, this one here. Actually, I realized my cursor wasn't on. The one here.
Okay. Big chunk.
He is going to, the big chunks. He's going to turn to Fëanor and say, "I think we should make a quick exit. Valnith and I will hold here, and maybe you should run, grab Beldor, and we'll all get out of here."
Yeah, look, that might be a good idea. Currently, like with a spider, like crawling on the top of him, trying to bite him.
Yeah, it's good.
Does a 13 hit?
A 13 will not hit.
Damn.
You have King's Cup. You have King's Cup.
Oh, okay. Roll again then. Yeah.
You want
See
to?
how it works?
Yeah, roll again. You have to take second result.
That's a 19. I'll
19
take
will
that.
hit. Yep.
And that
You
is...
begin to strike, and all of a sudden, your sense of rage, you immediately feel this moment of calm, and the basically the flowers on your necklace begin to wither just slightly as you just whoom, slam down upon it.
That is 3 points of damage.
All right.
It's I only got
Okay.
a 1 plus my 2 from rage.
It's okay.
Every
You
bit
do-
of damage happens.
Any bit of damage helps.
You can hear like an audible like ping against it, but you don't see it doing anything, any real like scuffs of damage against it. Which though does bring us down to the Broodlings, and so these two are going to go ahead and spend their turn to flip back around, and so they are up. This one is going to jump on Valnith, and this one is going to jump back on Theodric. I'm going to have both of you make dexterity saving throws for me.
By the
Oh,
love
no,
of
sorry,
the
not,
Lord.
not dexterity saving throws, contested athletics checks.
Oh Lord.
Sorry, which one did Theodric attack before? I was away from my
This
screen.
one right here. Big spider.
Okay, sweet. That fits with my plans.
I have. So what does inspiration do? Does it
It's just a reroll, take whichever. It's advantage.
Okay, I'm gonna use it. I'm gonna
How
use
many
it.
times does the King's Cup work in a day?
As
Or is it
many
just
times as you want it.
Okay.
It's really good.
It's really good. Really
Okay.
slick.
That's pretty better.
yeah.
That is oh, you can go first, Valnith.
Yeah. So I got a reroll. Okay, that's way better. 17.
Okay.
And I got a 13.
It was a natural 1 last time, so.
This spider falls off, but this spider still stays on Theodric. This one is going to attempt to make its attack at Valnith first. That's going to be an 18 to hit.
Yeah, it hits. Oh, that hits.
And that will be 0 points of damage. It has a D4 -1. so that's fun. And I rolled a 1, so it strikes you.
It's
with,
gummy fangs like
for
rub
0
against.
damage. The other one is going to make its attack against Theodric, to which he's going to get an 8, and it's not going to pierce his chainmail armor. But still on top of him, your speed is halved while it is there.
I mean,
this one just came onto the block. This one just came onto the block, so he's not moving.
I mean, I'm doing better than I was last turn, so I'll take it.
True. Which then drops us down to Nim.
Okay, so I am going to give a little whistle to him, and I want him to move up, diagonally left, around and down to attack the spider that Theodric was fighting, and I'm gonna get him to gore it with his antlers.
So he's around this side, because there's a giant castle wall that's basically.
Oh, okay. I thought that was just I thought that was the ground. I didn't realize.
Yeah.
You know what? No, he'll just go downwards, and he'll attack the spider that's closest to him, on the left.
This one.
Like that one, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
And he'll just gore it with his antlers.
All right, go ahead and do that. So basically, he moves down 5, 10, and then boom, 20-foot charge into the antler with his antlers.
Yeah.
Nice.
Cool. Okay, no, he only got a 7.
All right, 7. Yeah, that unfortunately is not going to hit, but he does boom hit it as basically the spider turns around and intercepts it, pushing it off. Yes, which it brings us to Belgo. So his orders were to follow. Stay close. He is going to make a wisdom saving throw as he sees behind Valinith, all of these spiders have begun to crawl. He's going to see if he is going to follow these orders or if he is going to be fearful.
Kind of hope he doesn't.
He's feeling brave. He got a 13. He's going to wander his way 5, 10, 15 up to Nim, but he's going to not go any further. He's going to pick up his bow. He's going to drop his torch at his feet, to which it doesn't catch anything because it's basically dirt right there. And he's going to take his bow, and he is going to shoot at this spider up there. He's going to attempt. We'll see if this
Come on,
works.
Belgo! Come on!
Yeah, let's hope his training pays off.
And with a roll of a 4, including modifiers, it soars off into the distance. He's used one of his 5 arrows.
It's okay.
Look, he's trying.
He's trying.
He's trying. Action economy is important.
As he begins shaking, it's just he attempts to go down to his quiver to pull another, but as he's looking in every direction to see where spiders are. Yeah, it's pretty scary. But then that brings us to Jamie.
Cool. When it's behind me, no one's there. Dang it. I still have a spider in front of me to deal with, so I'm gonna do that, I think. So yeah, I try and stab the one in front of me.
Okay.
Ooh, and I actually get a good one. 19!
That'll hit.
Heck yes. Watch me roll minimum damage. Yep, minimum damage 2.
Okay.
All right.
It's okay.
Yes, you slam down and an audible clink from the shell. Doesn't seem to phase it all that much as it begins attempting to bite. But with that being the case, that's going to bring us to the end of the round, to which these webs are basically completely alight.
That's good, though.
At this
That's
point,
good.
spiders within 5 feet of each of these flames are going to have to basically make courage checks in order to not retreat. The flames are growing too bright and too hot. But what that also means is essentially at this point, Feanor and Theodric are going to be making Constitution saving throws for the flames that are there as well. But the nice thing is most of the webs here have been completely disintegrated and burnt up.
So wait, sorry, I must have just missed it. The flames near the up in the canopy, Like you said, where like it's now reached the ground right near us, so that's why Theodric and I are doing
Yes.
saves
So
against
there's
this.
like there's starting to be flames kind of all around. So all of the creatures, basically everyone here, is going to need to be making those saving throws. So
Yeah, okay.
all of the spiders, and the spiders are going to be making courage checks in order to do so as well. So sweet. So that's happened. All of this is flames, and it's I need one more flame. Begun to spread, and with that, more spiders have begun to.
Of course they have. Of course they have.
That's okay. We can hide in the flames.
I mean,
Oh god.
It's a spider barbecue.
oh, we can't even get out now.
And more
We will burn our way through.
Poor Jalen. I feel almost worse for Jalen down there. Look at that.
Don't worry about me. I'll be fine.
She should have rushed in like the rest of us.
That was my idea to begin with, and then
I
you were
know.
like, "Oh no, we
I'm going to, I'm going
and,
to
and
have
look where that got us. So.
everybody except
Good
for
job.
Jalen, and none of the animals, but everybody except for Jalen, make a perception check for me.
Yeah.
Perception.
I got a 21.
I don't like that at all. I got a 2.
I got an 11.
Theodric's very concerned with spiders that are like crawling all over him, and actually,
Yeah, he's currently dealing with some shit.
similarly, Valineth is as well. However, Feanor, you can see climbing in the canopies.
Oh no.
I don't like what I'm seeing.
Oh, it's Savage
An
Taller. isn't
enormous.
Feast, my young ones. Grab the bodies and go back to the forest. Grab the bodies and go.
And yes, a great spider has come to join the combat.
Great.
With that being the case, let's go ahead and jump around to some of these combats. This spider is, we're going to go ahead and start in the order that I have them numbered. So this spider is going to attack Theodric. He's going to go attempt a bite attack against Theodric. That is going to be an 18. Does that hit?
I have an 18.
Okay, so that will hit. Hold on.
I'm beginning to think this encounter wasn't possible. I don't know.
I mean,
Well, I'm just
it's
saying-
almost as if
4
walking
points of
into a
piercing damage.
spider's nesting place is
that hard?
a bad idea.
And that's halved, so 2. 2 points of
Damn.
piercing damage.
That's good. That's good.
Yeah.
This
It's not like we can just leave Baldur to die. Do you know?
I know.
Shadow that would be.
Don't get me wrong. I'm about to run through the flames to grab you.
Like
In the
that.
direction of the giant spider.
Do it.
Yeah, so
do
this
it,
one's
do
up in
it.
trees.
We have nothing to
and
lose.
so, and then you also have to know it can't just like climb down. It has to crawl over across this web on top of this wall. So it's 15 feet up, and there's a 15-foot wall here. Just letting you know that. So there's a little bit of some room kind of there to work with. But this one is going to go ahead and attack Nim with a bite attack, to which it gets a natural 20, meaning max damage. That is going to be a 9 points of piercing damage.
Oh.
As it
Ooh,
just
that's not.
jumps on and it just sinks its teeth into Nim. Nim shakes it off, clearly hurt from this. And Belgo wheels around as he sees the spider basically just chomping down on Nim. This one is going to attempt to attack Rufus. Is a 16 going to hit?
Yep, sure is, bud.
And that is going to be 2 points of piercing damage.
Very nice.
Min damage.
Alive. He's alive.
He's
alive.
He did that on purpose.
Fate wants him to not be spider bait, apparently. This one is going to attempt to attack Feanor with a stinger attack. That is going to be 17 to hit.
Nope.
Oh, sorry, Feanor. This one is technically wrong. There's
You
a
there, Nick?
17 hit.
I think Nick's gone.
I think
I can look.
it
I can
does
look.
hit.
I think he's got 17 AC.
He. Yeah, 17 AC. Unless he has any other bonuses, he doesn't have.
Yeah, so
any.
that's going to hit, and that is going to do. I'm gonna have him to make a Constitution
for him.
saving throw. Yeah, go ahead and make a Constitution saving throw for him. That is going to be
Constitution.
3 points, half rounded up, so 2 points of piercing damage.
Oh, he's got good. Just someone roll a d20 for me. They can. I got it.
Yep.
I got it.
Oh, you got it?
Got it.
Okay.
That's a 17 plus 4, so 21.
And the poison does not reach him, but he does take 2 points of piercing damage. This one is going to be attacking Jalen. As it jumps, well, it doesn't jump, it's just going to attempt a bite attack against Jalen, and that is going to be at a 10, which I assume it does not hit. And then this one is going to make its way towards Belgo. To which it is going to jump up and attempt to attack Belgo with a bite attack. As it just climbs up, and Belgo's like, as he just begins to completely be overcome by this spider. And with a natural 4, that still hits. Belgo gets hit for
How does my dog have a higher
2 points
AC
of-
than a child?
2 points of damage, which again is a minimum at a natural 1 there. So
Ikari's back. Ikari, who do you want to give that to, by the way?
He was saving it for Belgo. He's been
He was
saying the
saving it for
whole.
Belgo. He's been
Okay, all right.
saying
He
that
still
all
has
speed.
it. I think he's doing okay
yeah,
right
you,
now.
you
It's
can't
only
use it.
2
You
points
can't
of-
use it to affect an enemy's rolls. So yes.
Good to know.
Still,
Yeah,
give it
so
to
Belgo, he gets bit. He goes, and he's like, now he is on the ground, prone though, as the spider is very clearly having his way with
Very
him.
nice.
This spider, I mean, he's gonna go ahead and use Spider Climb and make his way over here. Anywhere within range. I guess Nim. He's going. Nim's big body is big and blocking Belgo, so he's gonna go ahead and attempt to shoot a web at Nim. And that is going to be a 14. Does that hit?
Okay, cool.
Nick's still not here.
I heard.
Yes,
Yes.
it
I heard him
does.
say
It
stuff.
does hit. Okay. So
Oh,
he
is he
is
here?
he is currently restrained now, as webs basically cover his body.
By the way, Nick, you took 2 damage. I was unable to change it at all.
Yep,
from
I'll
the
update
spider,
that.
So.
And then this one just popped on, this one just popped on, and this one just popped on. Okay, that's all the spiders. It's a lot of spiders. Rufus, he's going to attempt his attacks. Yeah, he's going to attempt to attack the spider that is attacking him.
Okay.
Go ahead and make that roll, the attack roll.
Come on, Rufus. I believe. Ooh, 13.
13 will not hit, unfortunately.
Shame.
Yeah, unfortunately. That brings us down to Feanor. What are you doing, buddy?
I'm running through to where Baldur is, and I am going to. Sorry, just looking at the map. Is he like? If I were to take him downward, is like where those bramble things
Yeah,
are?
this is the wall. So basically, he's in the crevice of a wall where it's 15 feet, and basically it ends right here where this bush is. And so 15 feet, 15 feet. And then
I guess I'm. Yeah. I guess I'm going to run in, and I'm going to try and. I'm going to pick him up, and I'm just basically focusing on flaying this place.
All right. You are going to make a Constitution saving throw for me as you do so.
Yep. 14.
14, you take 1 point of fire damage as you run through these flames, picking up Sir Baldur and thrusting him upon your shoulders. You have, I'm going to count that as your action. Oh, you also take an attack of opportunity as you run past the spider.
Yep, that's fine.
To which that is going to be 18 to hit.
That hits.
And that is going to be 9 points of damage, maximum
Oh!
damage. That's half,
Is that
though, because
half?
you're in a rage, yes.
Oh, thank goodness.
Okay. Not looking good, lads.
Yeah, as you basically lift this limp web sack onto your bag, you see another web sack has fallen as well, and it is large. If you wish to investigate it, you may do so.
I give it a kick.
It is large, it is heavy, but there is no movement.
Yep, no, that's it. I'm gonna leave it.
Okay.
I think we need to leave.
Yeah. Astute observation, my friend. Alright.
What is that I smell? Is that the smell of fear? Is that the smell of little flies squirming beneath our webs?
I think that's the smell of your children burning to death.
Yeah, it's...
Oh, what's that? No big words. You aren't that very bright, are you?
Just taunting the spider in the flames. I love it.
Yeah, I'm just
sorry.
standing there in the fire.
You have 10 feet of movement, so you can drag a Baldur wherever you want to go within that 10 feet.
Is directly above Nim. That's also part of the wall.
Yes,
God.
so this
Where
is
do-
wall. This
Yes,
is all
yeah.
wall. This is wall.
I can where all the webs are. That kind of has like the frame of the wall on the right hand side. They go along it. Okay,
To be honest, probably the way back that you came is the best, honestly.
Yeah. Look. Okay. Yeah. I'm just gonna do that. I'm just gonna move back diagonally down, one to the right. And if I have to, if he dies, at least I did my best to keep him alive.
Yeah.
This is true. This is true. And with that brings us to Valor. You are currently surrounded by broodlings, small
So
spiders. On
these
either
broodlings, are they? Can I even pass them at all? If I wanted
so
to.
they are small creatures, and they can move within and out of your space, unblocked. But you cannot pass within their space without provoking opportunity attacks.
How terrified of fire are these spiders? Like, on a scale of 1 to 10.
Once that comes, oh, it's the spider's turn. I can see if they're gonna run. Before they were at the very top.
Oh yeah, that'd be good.
Yeah,
That'd be good.
that'll be good. So this first one, so it's basically this one, and this one. These guys, turn hasn't come up yet. So this one. The first one is going to be this. So
Please.
got a natural 19, so he's staying. This one, a natural 2.
Please.
Yeah,
Thanel
he's
says to
going
it. Oh yeah, not doing too well in the heat, are we? While actively on fire.
As he begins to climb up 15 feet, and then climb down on the opposite side of the wall for his movement. This one that's attacking Nim got a natural 16, which is enough to keep him. Sweet. Which brings us to Valineth, your turn. So one spider has begun to retreat.
Yeah. So seeing the situation at play.
Oh, and this one, sorry. This one also has to roll.
Okay. This gives me more time to think, so thank you.
I'm just saying, if we start
Natural 1,
swinging around,
it has completely fled the combat.
Sweet.
if
okay.
we start swinging around like more torches, will they just run?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Like,
Valineth is going to actually move his way back towards Belgo. If he can, through those spiders.
All right, he's going to make an
that's a
opportunity.
lot of it.
He's going to make
That's
an
4 opportunities.
Yes.
Oh, 4 opportunities?
Boom.
Oh,
this
never
one
mind,
won't
never
because
mind.
it's
This one's
currently
on me.
on
Yeah.
him. So
Never
it's going to
mind,
be
never mind
3.
then. Never mind.
You
never
can-
mind.
you
Yeah.
I have a question. Can you use disengage as an action?
You can, but he can't use it walking through the space of a small spider.
Yeah.
So basically, he's
Valinith-
engaging away from these, but he's going to be walking through a space.
Valinith is going to spend his action to light a torch quickly around him and just like kind of use it as a defense mechanism that he has.
Mm-hmm.
He can't do much else, so
Okay. Theodore.
yeah.
Okay. Do I have to roll to like throw off the spider again?
You
or?
do. So I'm going to have you make a strength saving throw.
Okay. 15.
Yeah, you successfully throw him off.
Okay. And with that, I am going to also attack the broodling that was just on me.
Okay.
I'm gonna try and. That's a 12.
A 12 will hit.
Okay.
Very much will hit.
And that is 6 points of damage.
And with that, you splat that sucker.
Okay, hell yeah.
Nice.
My current game plan is I'm gonna try and carve us a path out of here.
That's okay.
And do I still have? Actually, no. I probably don't want to.
Don't forget me, please.
Yeah, no.
Oh, also make a Constitution saving throw, being by the flames.
Okay. 23.
Yeah, you're good. The flames begin to lick you, but your armor, while it's getting hotter, it still hasn't made its way through. Yeah, it's pretty darn good.
Gotta love that King's Cup.
And with that, I'm going to go ahead and jump down to the broodling. So this spider broodling was popped. No one else is within the radius of the fire, and so yeah, that's fun. We're gonna go ahead and just start attacks. So this one's gonna jump.
I wish I was not level 2.
Make a basically a athletics check for me.
I'm so bad at that though. Why do I have to do this? I shouldn't have. No, I did. You know, ultimately it works. Athletics, you said?
Athletics.
I'm so bad at that though. That's a natural 3.
All of them stay on you.
Yeah.
As they begin attempting bites at you. So the first one is going to be a 5 to hit,
Nope.
which doesn't.
Nope.
Second is going to be a 4 to hit, which doesn't.
Nope.
And the next one is going to be a 7 to hit, which doesn't
Nope.
hit.
But
they
I have
are
0
still-
movement, right?
Yes, you have 0 movement, and they're climbing all over you at
Sweet.
this point.
Sweet.
These other ones, they're going to go ahead and begin to crawl in. They can't really pass through, so they're kind of blocked. And this one is going to jump on Jalen. So Jalen, make an athletics check for me.
Ooh, at disadvantage. Okay.
I think you got this.
I do got this. It was a 19.
Against a 2. Yes, you easily shake him off.
Good.
Yes. And then these ones, they're not going to willingly go towards the flames. They're going to go. They're on the ground, skittering on the ground. Which brings us to Nim.
How's Nim doing?
Nim is going to attempt to gore. He's going to attempt to gore that spider that to his left.
So he can only stomp right now because he's not charging.
Nim is going to attempt to gore the spider to his left.
Yeah, with his hands.
So his antler attack can only be used on a charge, so he can only stomp right now, or his hooves,
Oh, okay. Yeah. He'll do
His
his
hands.
or hooves.
That's hooves, yeah. Sorry.
We need more firepower.
Literally.
Does a 16 hit?
16 does hit.
Sweet. I will roll my damage. 7 damage.
Buddy. Yeah, he just
Pretty
begins. The spider jumps on him and like bites him. And he just begins just stomping on it, and you can actually see cracks begin to form in the carapace. It's just like basically force stomping it into the ground. With that being the case, it is now Belgo's turn. He is going to make a wisdom saving throw. I will tell you guys the answer because I'm going to let you guys control his fate and his destiny here. He got a 7. Do you want to use the inspiration?
Yes.
Yeah, please. Please.
How about yes?
That bumps him up to a 17, which allows him to rise from his feet, and he begins immediately using the disengage action. He makes his way back, huddled up basically against the tree. He's going to use his bow and attempt a shot at the spider, mustering up his courage. Please.
Oh my god.
He's going to go ahead and fire a shot at the
Please,
thing,
Belgo, be a champ.
to which he got 8, so it tinks off the shell. He hits, but it tinks off as it just...
He does have the whistle that calls Nim if he needs it as well.
Good to know. Good to know. And with that, we're going to go to Jalen.
Okay, well this is the exact opposite of what I wanted to happen, so this is fun. I'm going to use a disengage action.
Okay.
And I'm going to go back to here. Is there a way I can drag Belgo with me, like, back into the fray or not?
Oh!
Yes, I'm going to say, yes, you can if you use your bonus action.
Okay, easy. I can do that.
Complete the movement, and I'll just plop him adjacent.
Yeah.
Here.
So basically...
That's not bad.
Wait,
It's
where
not
did I
bad.
go? Oh, there we go.
Strength in numbers,
So
right?
you can move this far from your current.
Yep, that's fine. Basically, what I want to do... Probably can't do it this turn because I've used all my stuff. But next turn, I want to help Belgo, like, actually climb aboard Nymphiarion.
Okay, sounds good.
Yeah.
Yes, you have a reaction if you want to give Rufus any orders. You can see him now, and he is within earshot.
Yep, so I want Rufus to also disengage and rejoin the group.
Make
And
an
just
animal
basically
handling
follow
check.
Yeah, and basically I just want him to follow Nim. 16.
You can see him like standing off, fighting, very bloodied. He's limping a little bit as he begins backing away. He hears your call, and his ears begin to twinge, and he looks around, and immediately,
And I call, Rufus, treat!
and he runs right to you, but he doesn't sniff your hands or look for your pockets. In fact, he turns around, looking back at the spiders that are surrounding him. He's growling.
Aww.
He's a good boy.
Bless.
He's a true warhound.
Yeah, and so that is going to bring us to the end of the round, meaning some of these webs are going to be completely gone and extinguished.
Can the spiders do their saving throws first?
Well,
Well, the fires are going out.
So basically, the original spots are going to be taken away, and so those two.
Those are the ones I need the most, though.
Well, no,
there's
so
one
this
still
guy's-
next
so
to
this- Yeah, there's fire still next to him. So, but basically, if turns proceeding, they're gonna just basically burn away throughout all
Fair
that.
enough.
So, well, the spiders are here, and it looks like the whole nest is here. This one is going to go ahead and make its saving throw, and I think that's all.
Please.
And with a natural 18, he is staying and he is rearing, but he is going to take 3 points of fire damage.
Sweet.
Yes, he is, he's feeling it. He's really feeling it. Yes, and then this one is currently in the process of running away. He needs to take one more courage test, to which he fails epically. He runs away from combat. This one is not within the flames, so he's going to go ahead and attack here. So this first one is going to attack Theodric. He's going to do a stinger attack. And that's going to be not a natural 18, but an 18 to hit.
Okay, yeah.
Make a Constitution saving throw for me. You take 1 point of damage. Piercing damage.
That is a 22.
22.
On
Again,
that
it does
saving.
not quite pierce you as it just scratches the surface. You take 1 point of piercing damage as the spider continues hissing, attempting to break through your armor. This one is going to attempt to attack Nim as well, pretty much fighting for its life against a stomping buck. So he is going to, for a 16,
That hits.
bite attack, and that is going to be 4 points of damage.
Yep.
This one is going to go ahead and attempt to engage here against Jalen, and then this one is going to attack Belgo.
Oh no.
This one's going to attack Rufus. This one's going to attack Rufus, but make a saving throw, which gets a natural 1, meaning he takes 6 points of piercing damage from the bramble.
If only we had more firepower.
Yes. Am I missing anything this guy?
This sucks. I hate this so much.
Okay, so this one's attacking Belgo. So first and foremost, attack for a natural 1. He's going to miss. This one is going to attack Jalen for a natural 4, which is going to miss.
Ah, sweet.
This one is going to attack Rufus
Please, Rufus.
for a natural 1, which misses.
Oh my God.
This one is going to attack Rufus.
Please keep it up.
11, does that hit?
Armor class of 12.
Oh, why would you crack me out like that, Jalen?
I had to switch to the tab, okay?
Misses.
You-
One
I'm
FYI,
thoroughly
one
enjoying
bite
this.
from one of these spiders right now with Rufus, and he goes down. So
Oh.
Yeah.
that's a min
Even at
damage.
minimum
So
damage.
he misses. You have basically set this barrier between this wall and everything. The group of you are keeping these spiders at bay, but you see these spiders as they begin pushing you around, attempting to either push you towards their queen or back towards the center of the circle. They are not happy, as you can imagine. But that brings us to Rufus. You want to call order to him?
I think he's just gonna bite some spiders, to be honest.
Okay. Well, this is the spider that was attacking him originally. He's going to turn around and bite. So go ahead and roll an attack.
Rufus takes down one of these spiders single-handedly. Oh boy.
Well, him and Nim.
Yeah, true. That's fair.
It's an 11 plus 3, 14.
That'll hit.
Okay, make a saving throw. What is it? Strength? Strength saving throw.
That's a natural 19.
Yeah, that's safe.
Damage, though.
Oh, damage. Duh, I forgot that part.
Important part.
I knew I was forgetting something. Okay, hang on. D6 plus 1, so total of 4 damage.
Rufus chomps right into its kind of eye area, and this big spider, again the size of a pony, just boom slams to the ground as Rufus basically has its paw on it, like ripping out like its eyes and everything on top of it. That's Rufus's turn. Feanor, I'm gonna have you make a Constitution saving throw for me.
Yep.
And I'm going to do one
15.
for Baldor to see if the webs around him catch fire. They do not. 15, you do not take any points of damage. You can go ahead and start your trek
Cool.
out of here.
I want to move diagonally down, so I'm next to Theodric.
Okay.
I want to put Boulder down behind me, and I want to be like, I've had enough of this, and I'm going to try and stab the big spider above Theodric with my great spear.
Nice
All
idea.
right.
I like it.
Absolutely.
Okay. I'll just ask because we haven't discussed it. We said that the way flanking kind of works is if it doesn't work with diagonals, but I have a 10-foot reach.
Yes.
Does that still kind of count?
No,
Or no?
'cause technically he's
yeah.
got movement to be able to maneuver
Yeah,
around.
that's fine. I just wanted to check. It is a 14.
14 will hit.
Okay, cool. Let's prepare for all the damage.
As this great spear just slammed
I
right
deal
into his
9 damage.
That ain't nothing to scoff at. Yeah, this spider shrieks. And as it just reorders basically like its fangs at you. Bringing us to Valinith. Valinith, make a strength saving throw for me.
I'm not good at those. This is like the worst situation for Valinith because he's not strong boy.
What is your strength score, by the way?
It is a 10. Oh, that's a natural 20 though. For a 20. Let's freaking go.
That's why I was going to ask, because I got a natural
Feel it.
20, but you have a higher strength score. For one of the broodlings, and so you're able to successfully throw off all three of them.
Nice.
And with that, you still have your turn.
Yeah, Valinith is gonna, with his fired all fiery stick, can he poke the one that's right behind him?
You can, so you can go ahead and so behind.
Okay, right here.
Yeah, you absolutely can. So basically, what you're going to be doing is a straight strength check for the hit, and then it's essentially going to be 1 damage plus 1d4 fire damage.
1 damage plus 1d4. Okay.
If you hit.
I mean, hopefully I hit these dudes, 'cause dear lord. All right. That's a natural 20, so that's
Yep,
max damage.
That's 5 damage.
Fire damage.
So
Four
4 fire
fire,
damage, 1. And
1
you begin
poop
holding
damage.
it and it just as it lights completely on fire, this fleshy mass, you do end up killing it.
Sweet. And then Valinith, he's gonna move closer to Belgo for support. So he's gonna go.
You're gonna take 2 opportunity attacks.
That's okay. 1, 2, 3. Here. He's gonna go behind him right there.
First one is going to be a 14, and second one is going to be a 16.
Yeah, both hit.
So the first attack is going to deal 0 damage, because again, min damage, and the second hit is going to be taking 2 piercing.
I'll take it. That was worth it.
Where are you going?
Right behind Belgo, so like right here. Right here. Flanking him, trying to help him, give him some courage
Okay, you do so.
in this situation.
Which then brings us down to Theodric.
Okay, how messed up is the spider that Feanor just
It got messed up pretty good.
Okay. I am going to...
How messed up's the spider near him? He's not looking really good.
This one right here. He is not as messed up as this one.
Okay. I'm gonna
Yeah.
I'm gonna save him.
It's a good idea.
I'm gonna move.
Take an opportunity attack
there.
as you move away, which is not going to hit. So yeah,
Yep.
you're successfully.
And I am going to swing for the fences at this one that's attacking him.
All right.
Does a 24 hit?
Oh! Oh yeah, that hits.
That's a nat 20 plus 4, by the way.
That's max damage then.
It's max damage.
Holy.
Okay, well, that is 13 damage. Wait, oh, max damage. Yeah, I got a 13.
You slam your sword down, and there's an audible crunch. And the entire back part of the carapace just fractures in spider-like patterns as it turns around and looking very upset with what you did. You have caught its attention.
Hang on, it rolled 2 dice for that. Is that right, or is it just because it automatically did that for damage?
Oh, because it was a natural 20.
Yeah.
It's just for that, it's basically just like doubles the damage. But ours is just max damage. That's the house rules here.
Oh, okay. Well, actually, that's just 10 damage then.
Okay, 10 damage. Either way, that smacked hard. And with that, we're gonna go ahead and move, and you can hear the webs begin to bend. And peering up at the top of this wall, a giant spider, probably the size of Baradarok, if not a little bit bigger, peers over the wall.
My babies! Begins just,
basically climbing down the wall, attempting to... slamming itself into Feanor. It's going to take its damage, or a check, to which it takes 4 points of...
Oh, well, I'm dead. I'm gonna die.
And it is going to attempt...
How are you doing, Feanor?
a sting
Not good.
against you.
Not good. Oh.
With a natural
I'm below
1.
half health.
Okay.
It completely misses you as the flames, it's basically pushing the flames apart, licking its face. Guys, I wish I could screenshot this sucker with this nat 1.
Oh.
Completely missing as it just blinds itself for but a moment.
Why did we agree to go to Mirkwood?
I know. Well, we had to.
And these
It
broodlings...
was not my idea.
It's going to go ahead and jump onto Valineth.
Of course it is.
And this one is going to jump onto Feanor. This one
Athletics
jump
check.
onto Feanor. Yeah, add a contested athletics check. Cannot quite reach. So
That's an 11.
and Feanor is
Natural 20 for 24.
all of these spiders get launched off in every direction. But they're going to attempt attacks. We're going to do the first 2 broodlings against you, Feanor. The first attack is going to be a natural 14 for 15. Does that hit? 15?
Does not.
And a natural
That misses.
6 also misses. Against Valineth, it's going to be an 8 to hit, which I assume misses.
I'm having a lot of issues with it. It was in a, what did the
Second one roll?
Nothing. You're good. 8. Yeah.
Sweet. Thank God.
And with that, we have Nim. It is his turn.
Nim is going to try and stomp the one that Theodric just attacked.
All right, go ahead and make an attack roll.
Uh, 22.
Oh yeah, that'll hit. Oh buddy.
Sweet, and I will roll my damage.
I feel like the woodland creatures are better attackers than the humans in elves.
With that +5 to hit, it helps.
Pretty good.
5 damage.
I don't think they're better, they just have way more numbers.
True.
And with that, boom, boom, 2 of the legs get ripped off the back end of it as it just is basically caught between a rock and a hard place. Attempting to fight from both fronts with this giant stag, attempting to smash him down along with this giant Rohirrim man, attempting to do the same, seemingly standing no chance. That brings us to Belgo. Belgo, he is basically he's in the spot where he dropped his torch, so he's going to pick that sucker back up, and he's going to attempt to whack the spider in front of him with the torch.
Nice idea. It's a good idea.
And with a
Come on,
2, he's going to miss, as the spider just backs lunging its way kind of forward a little bit more. Which brings us to Jalen.
God damn it, though.
Jalen,
Cool.
please tell me you
I'm
have
gonna
something
do-
up your sleeve.
Yeah, I do actually have something up my sleeve. For my
Please.
arms.
Oh.
Always puns in time of stress.
Let's
I'm
well.
gonna go ahead and drag Belgo over to Nim and try and give him a boost up.
Okay, so he is going to take an opportunity attack if you do so.
Okay. Would that count as an opportunity because he's being dragged away? He's not willingly going.
Because he's being moved away from his current position, essentially.
Yes.
So it's not like a
normally-
disengage. It's essentially like any type, because the way that it works is like any type of movement away, they're going to basically lunge at that. And so the disengage is like a dodge fully through that. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
he's
I knew
moving
that.
away still.
It's up to you how you want to rule it, but normally in 5e, it's like if you're a body being dragged away from someone else's space, they don't get an opportunity attack because it's not willing movement. If that makes sense.
As God rolls.
As God
so-
rolls.
Yeah,
I
as
mean,
God rolls.
it logically that makes zero sense to me. But if that is the rules, then we'll go ahead and do that. He will be dragged away up onto, basically hit there. He's going to make an dexterity or an acrobatics check in order to get on top of Nim in this. Twitchy rolls a natural 1, so there's no shot. But he did get dragged away, back behind you at least, out of danger. So.
Okay, that's
And
cool.
with that, you have anything else that you want to
Was that my action?
do? Yes, that would be your action.
Okay, cool. I will go ahead and use a bonus action to inspire somebody. Who would like bardic inspiration?
I think right now,
Please, I have the giant spider.
Yeah.
Okay, Fane was covering for it. Let me just check the range. Oh yeah, within 60 feet. That's plenty. Yeah, easily.
definitely.
Okay. Okay, you wanna listen to my edgy poem now?
Yes.
Oh boy.
Do it.
For all those lost in darkness, for all who
Do
never
it.
wake, for all who drown in shadow, our resolve must never shake.
And with that, Feanor, you're immediately filled with these inspiring words. You see Baldur basically at your feet as you stand off against this enormous spider looming its way near you. And you think back to your initial escape from spiders such as this, and you begin to feel, you see all of the companions that you have around you doing their best to fight back this oncoming threat. And with that, you're basically given the extra strength to be able to do whatever you want to do with that. So you have extra resolve within you, which is cool. So,
Okay.
which brings us to the end of
Okay.
the round, meaning some of these fireballs
TPK time.
TPK time.
make their way.
Don't
In
say
fact,
that.
All of you make perception checks.
Please be something good. It's probably King Spider. We got Queen Spider here. Now we're gonna get King Spider.
I got an 8.
I need a really big spider to come along
I got
with
an
all
8.
the other spiders. Please and thank you. I got a
Okay.
10.
10.
I
A
also
9.
got an 8.
Oh, can Rufus make a perception check?
So I guess technically he could.
He gets advantage.
Sure. It's a sound thing. It's so if it's hearing, then yes, he gets advantage.
Rufus has advantage on a wisdom perception ability checks that rely on hearing and smell. This is the check that relies on hearing and smell.
There you go. Perception.
Perception. Oh, well, that's 2. That's another 2. I rolled 2 2s. Oh my god. So a total of 3 for Rufus.
In this impending doom within the party, the spiders are all around, being able to pinch you all into the middle as if to capture you for their own. And with that, spiders are going to be doing spider things. This one is going to make his check.
Oh no.
To see if he
Oh,
knows.
no.
And he gets an 8, meaning
Nice. Oh,
he backs up 15
good.
feet.
good.
This one was not in that, and he's already pinched, so he's not making that. This one is going to be climbing up around and make his way here. He doesn't really have a vantage point on anyone. This one is going to make its way in. Okay. Attacks again. Another round.
Does the big spider take fire damage?
It's not its turn yet. So.
Oh, it's different turn. It's not big.
It
Oh, that's
is a
good.
different priority initiative.
Okay, all right,
So
good.
these two are.
Yeah,
going
because
to
it
make-
came in later.
These two are going to make attacks against Jalen. So first attack is going to be a 21 non-natural 20. So it's going to be a bite for 5 damage.
Okay.
Second one is going to roll a 8 for its hit, which I'm assuming doesn't hit.
No, it doesn't hit.
This one up here is going to make an attack roll against a Rufus for a 9.
That doesn't hit.
And this one up here is going to make an attack against Rufus for a 13.
Well, that does hit.
It does hit. And so
Rufus gonna die.
with that, the spider boom stomps him and takes one bite, and you hear Rufus squeal, and he begins to fall to the ground, and he begins to breathe heavily. He gets death saving throws because he's an NPC.
Aww.
Thank God.
Yeah, good luck. Good luck trying to save him while surrounded by spiders.
I know.
Okay, here's
Rufus.
the thing.
It's better than death, though. It's just straight death.
True.
I don't know about that.
I think that's all.
But death saves? That's way better than.
So. Oh no, this one. His attentions were drawn to Theodric, so he's going to attempt a bite attack against Theodric. And with a natural 4, that ain't going to hit. And so, it is now Rufus's turn, meaning death saving throw. So go ahead and make a Constitution check for me.
Please, Rufus. Pull through, buddy.
Okay, well, he has a +1 to con. Oh my god.
It's a nat 1. That would be bad if it was
It's a natural one.
No!
Gets
Yeah.
2 failures in his.
Oh!
My god.
He's just destined to die.
He
at
is,
this
on,
point. It's good.
he is on the brink of death as you hear his whimpering, basically, body on the ground. As the spider just climbs on top as if to finish him off. Guys, I'm getting a little choked up, I'm not gonna lie, with that one.
Then don't kill us.
Well, he's playing against us.
They-
Good old spider bait, finally doing his job.
Feanor, you are not close enough to the flames to have to make any checks, but it is your turn.
I want to move diagonally down right, away from the big spider.
You're gonna get 2
After picking up
opportunity
Baldur.
attacks. You basically lift
Will
him over the top.
I'm not leaving the...
Oh yeah, no, that's true. You're not leaving there.
Yeah.
Yep, you're good.
Yeah.
You're staying within there.
I want to then try to... I want to try and attack this little spider above me,
Okay.
while still holding Baldur, if that's going to put me at disadvantage or anything.
Okay. Go ahead, and that's going to just be normal. These guys are pretty unimpressive. They don't move very fast.
Okay, cool.
So it's just going to be normal.
Does a 12 hit?
Oh yeah, that does.
Okay. 6 damage.
You go, boom! You slap your spear down onto it, and it begins bleeding and scurrying around. It is not quite dead, but it is not looking good.
I'm then going to move more movement to move up right next to Belgo.
That's going.
I know I'll get
be-
attacked more, but I tried to do what I could.
Yes. So it's going to be 2 opportunity attacks. The first one is going to be a 13.
Misses.
Second one is going to be an 11.
Misses.
All right. And so the group is now back to back against this castle wall as the spiders are encroaching in upon them. Which brings us down to Valinith.
Can I reach out to Jalen? I know she's technically diagonal from me.
She's 10 feet away.
Is there any way I could squeeze in and get close to her?
You can attempt to help what's his bucket get up onto an Imperion, but that's all I can do. Belgo. That's
I need my action though for that. Valinith is going to hand his torch over to Belgo, and he's gonna kneel down and whisper into his ear. I'm sure she'll forgive us. Set her bag on fire. And then Valinith is gonna pull out his spear and stab his short spear that Feanor made him, and stab the spider in front of him. Not the tiny one.
Make a perception or a persuasion check for me.
Oh god, I'm not persuasive. 9.
9. Belgo's like, what? He's not going to do it until his turn.
Do I hear that?
I whispered.
Oh, he whispered.
Oh, okay.
But like, you can attempt to hear that if you
Yeah,
want
sure.
to.
Go ahead and make perception.
That's fine.
You know
I
what?
don't care.
Between Rufus dying and all the spiders, I'm not feeling confident about his perception.
Okay. Valinith doesn't mind if you hear this.
Okay, it's a 17.
Yeah, you hear it.
Okay, cool.
Someone had to be spider bait.
Well, I mean, it's not to burn Jalen per se. It's to burn
No, I know
what's
what
in
you're
her
going for, and I
bag.
had the exact same thought. Well, not the exact same thought, but I had a thought.
Okay. Well, maybe it was for the best. You get
All right. So Spear, which spider are you poking?
Big boy right behind me. This guy.
Okay. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Please.
Yeah, right. I mean, I'm not great with it, but it's fine. That's good. That is a 13 to hit.
13 will not hit, unfortunately.
I know.
As
Clink.
your spear just scrapes along its shell. It doesn't even pay any mind or any attention to you. Which brings us to Theodric.
Okay, Theodric is going to... He doesn't have much room to maneuver. He's gonna try and finish off the spider
It's a good idea.
and free Nympharion from...
Go ahead and make an attack roll.
That is a 21.
That'll hit. Go ahead and roll damage.
And that is a 10.
I'm really surprised it's still alive.
The thick? How are we supposed to kill any of these things?
Yeah. That's 10 points of damage.
And with that, its lifeless body slumps to the ground.
My
As it
God.
begins twitching. That is a first dead giant spider.
Yeah, the first one.
Which brings us to the broodlings.
Can I still move?
Oh, yes, technically you can.
Okay, well, I'm going to move in close so nothing can get in behind Nympharion.
All right, that's going to be an opportunity attack against you with a natural 4. That's not going to hit. So,
Yep.
Baldur being dragged behind and how everything is looking, the broodlings are going to do their thing. Actually, no, it is not their turn. Big Mama's coming.
Oh no.
As it begins climbing the wall, it's going to take damage from another 6 points of damage.
It's pretty good. We'll take that.
As it climbs up and you just just ripping all of these thorns and up off the side of it, piercing its legs, and you see it crawl over the top. As it lunges down, it is actually first and foremost to Theodric, Feanor, Belgo, everybody, not including the animals. I'm gonna have all of you make a wisdom saving throws for me.
No, that's one of my worst things.
Yeah, I got a 6.
19 for Valneth.
Oh,
thank you,
Nick,
King's
you still
Cup.
have Bardic Inspiration.
True.
Unless you've used it already.
Thank you, King's Cup. That's a 21.
I don't think. How much does it add? How much can I add with it?
It's a 1d6.
Yeah, I don't think that's really going to help in this situation.
Okay, fair enough.
So Valinith, what was it?
19.
19. Theodric,
21.
Jalen,
10.
10, and then Feanor.
That's the first wisdom saving throw I've gotten good.
6. What was it? 6. And then Belgo after roll for Belgo. Belgo's feeling brave, boys and girls.
Hey.
Belgo is feeling it. He got a 17.
Yo.
Yeah, he's feeling it. This spider comes up and over. However, Jalen and Feanor, as you see it, you become paralyzed with fear for the next one round.
No.
Theodric, Belgo, and Valinith, you are immune to this for 24 hours.
Oh, yes.
That's nice.
And as it begins, it goes...
If my babies can't do it, I'll at least fill my own belly.
It's going to make an attack against you, Theodric, and that is going to be a sting attack. Picture like Frodo in Lord of the Rings where Shelob has the stinger and just going to attempt to sting you, Theodric. And that, I'm pretty sure is going to hit. That's going to be a 24 to hit.
Oh! That definitely hits. Quick question. Did I ever see the giant web sack holding the horse?
No.
No. Okay.
That's going to be...
Small damage, small damage, small damage, small damage.
14 points of piercing damage.
Half,
that is
though.
halved to 7. I'm going to have you make a Constitution saving throw.
Oh boy, don't fail me now, Con.
Okay, you got King's Cup if you need it.
23.
23. You can feel your limbs begin to go numb as it begins
Oh,
to creep up your body. However, your body is able to dissipate it. You are not paralyzed from the sting.
Thank goodness. Thank goodness.
But there is a giant gaping hole in your shoulder from where the stinger entered you. Yeah, this thing is huge. Which brings us down to Nim.
I don't think he can do anything.
Which then brings us to Belgo.
I guess he would take the evade action if anything tries to attack him. At least then
Perfect.
it won't be a disadvantage.
Perfect. Belgo is going to make another wisdom saving throw. Got an 18. This dude is feeling brave.
Is he gonna be the hero?
He begins calling out, "Help! Help! Somebody! Help!"
Oh my god.
And he is basically in the middle of this group, being crunched in on all sides of these spiders are beginning to tear away at your defenses. Jalen, it is your turn.
I am paralyzed, am I not?
You are. Next turn, you will be able to be free for attacks.
Cool.
Which
Go
brings
ahead
us
and
to
set the
the...
bag on fire, Chief.
Belgo did not do so.
What a Lamoth.
All of these... The fire begins to extinguish as the world around you begins to grow darker. You can see, well, your vision begins to get lower and lower as the spiders more and more begin to creep their way in around them. You can feel broodlings begin to crawl around at your feet, and you can feel the spiders begin to oppress as you are squeezed together back to back. When all of a sudden, all kinds of arrows ring out of nowhere. A hail of arrows begin to plummet into the spiders all around you with precision accuracy. As the spiders begin screaming in every which direction, they have no idea what is going on. They have no idea what is hitting them.
What is it? Stings from everywhere.
The matron takes a hail of arrows. 5, 10 arrows, just one after another, piercing into her face. You can see that not a single one of these arrows have missed, and they have all landed their marks as these spiders begin backing away one by one. The broodlings are crushed beneath them. They begin to flee back into the forest. However, you begin to hear the Spider Queen calling from behind, leaving just a small opportunity for the party to be able to escape. I'm going to have you make a dexterity saving throw, all of you, including, so basically, Jalen, if you're going to be taking Rufus's body, this is going to be at disadvantage. I guess you have disadvantage anyways with shield. But Nim as well, he's going to roll one for him. As there's just an opening, you hear the spider the queen spider off in the distance.
Regroup. Can't let our meals escape. Hide in the trees, around, go!
And with that, there is a small opening. Dexterity saving throws, everybody.
Valnith rolled an 8.
Unnatural 20.
I got a natural
And then
20 and a 17. I'm taking the 17.
Unnatural 20 for Thanor, and a natural 20 for Nim for a 22.
I also got a 20.
Goodbye, everyone.
Essentially...
Hasta la vista, baby.
Oh, I got to roll for Belgo, too.
Valineth, did you roll badly?
I rolled an 8.
Belgo got an 8 as well.
No!
And with...
Also, if that's the case, Thanor would willingly stay, but throw Baldur's buddy up onto...
No. This is a group check. More than half of you succeeded.
Oh, thank God.
Oh, thank God.
Thank God.
Valineth was like, what's happening? Theodric just picks him up and carries
Yeah,
him out.
straight up.
I was actually going to, like, if it was going to work that way, I was going to be like, can I trade my inspo for Theodric to literally throw Valineth over his shoulder and leg
What's
it?
going on here?
As you all begin to sprint down the path that you came, carrying essentially Nim scoops up in his antlers Rufus. As you begin sprinting around, Theodric, you're able to help Belgo up onto Nymphiarion's back as he begins kind of leading the charge, getting the group of you out of there. The rest of you kind of flee away, firing a few arrows back towards the spiders that seem to be regrouping as they begin chasing you. You begin to make your way into the forest, into the absolute darkness. And all of a sudden, your eyes, each and every one of you, one by one, fade into black as black sacks are covered over your heads.
Out of the frying pan into the fire.
Oh, not this again.
You hear calling from out and around, from each and out, like a number of voices, probably a good 16, 17 voices. Hey, we caught them. Oh, what do we do? Let's take them back to camp. I don't know what they were doing out here, but... And as this whole thing is going, you are all being dragged, and Belgo was thrown off of Nim, and you can tell Nim was making a bit of a effort to try to not let this happen. As they take the dog off of Rufus off of Nim, and Nim darts into the woods, out of sight in Mirkwood. The rest of you are...
Fëanor is just going to be like, oh, not again.
Fëanor is just going to be like, oh, not again. Oh.
And with that, by the way, we're hearing double of you right now, Feanor. And with that, probably about an hour passes, but you have no idea. As you're being led away, you're not being like dragged on the ground. You are being escorted by foot by very strong individuals, and their chatter is very much down to a whisper. And you stop every now and then as you begin to listen. You can hear arrows being knocked and fired every now and then as you hear from the back, as if fending off any kind of following creatures, any kind of following spiders. And immediately you are brought to a halt on your knees. Bags are removed from your head. Jalen, Theodric, and also Belgo. You kneel before a elf individual. You are at a campsite that is very familiar to you. This is the one that you had originally come across by the river. And you see this tall, slender elf with essentially like ginger hair tied back in a ponytail look you up and down and begin walking back and forth. He doesn't seem to be having any emotion. You are not gagged or anything. And he says, well, what do we have here? 3 humans, traveling along with elf companions through the wood. Tell me, who are you and what is your purpose?
By
the way, you look around, you do not see Feanor or Valinith near you.
Okay. My name is Theodric. I am Theodric of Rohan. I was hired, and I and my compatriot Jalen were hired as bodyguards for young Belgo and his father. Young Belgo here and his father, to escort him along the elf roads to Lord Thranduil's halls.
I see. The fact that you have a child here is something that we elves here have not come in contact with upon our travels along the elf path. You willingly leading a child into danger is stupid. And he looks at Belgo, and Belgo is just like crying, just completely. You don't see Baldur or anything, but he is just Belgo's completely crying. What do you?
Rufus?
Rufus's body is laying on the ground beside you.
Okay.
He's still breathing, barely.
I will admit it is very stupid, but we were very short on options. You know, his father was taken by spiders in the night after he drank from one of the streams that changed where it was.
The exact stream that is currently exactly to your left.
Oh, that stream, actually. He fled into the forest, and we really only had the options of leaving him to the spiders, or we had to choose between leaving Belgo at camp or taking him with us, and I wasn't sure if leaving him alone would be the safe bet.
It was a foolhardy plan, to be sure, but we didn't believe that there were safe options available to us.
His eyes were solely fixed on Theodric, but as you speak up, Jalen, he turns his head rapidly and looks at you. You?
And
Is this your hound?
he was a stray. I found him off the street. Yes.
Odd story. From the looks of him, he looks to be a wolfhound. These are common amongst the woodmen, and they are trained for combat and they are trained for war. Clearly, he followed the orders of his master. However, he does not seem to be faring too well, it may seem. But you, I can't quite put a finger on it. You do not look like a woodman to me.
Well, perhaps proper instructions are in order.
Perhaps. He stands up straight and he puts his hands behind his back, as if awaiting basically answers. Very casually, but he has almost kind of like this dangerous calm to him.
Yeah, I recognize that. My name is Dragon Grinfold. I come from the Breedlands. I met Theodric here, as well as Valinith and Feanor, at the celebration of the 5 armies in Dale last autumn. We bonded quickly and became a relatively well-known group. And we wintered in Dale, where I picked up Rufus there. We were tracking down some bandits that had stolen a personal item from Valinith, and that adventure led us to Escalating, where we first met Belgo and his father. The bandits had disguised themselves as some guards that they had hired, and 2 of them were executed, and the other sent to the north, in the waste there. Belgo and his father, seeing themselves without guards, we decided to take up the job. It has been more perilous than we initially anticipated. And we thank you for your help.
The gratitude. I've heard gratitude from many of your kind throughout my time here in this here Middle-earth. And he begins pacing up and down, looking over the 3 of you. Here in Middle-earth, well, there are those who are blessed with skill to be able to protect, but not the freedoms to be able to do so. My name is Maeglin. I am Lord of the Wayward Elves here in Mirkwood. If what you said is true, and you came from Thranduil's halls, and you consider yourself elf friend, at least
we
friend...
do not.
Oh.
I made a rash decision when we visited Thranduil's halls.
Excuse me, the first interruption is free. Consider it a fair warning, given the gravity of this situation. But the next peep, any sudden outbursts, and one of you, well, will be killed. Plain and simple.
I nod silently.
So you visit Thranduil's halls, and you make way through Mirkwood on the elf path, a path that is said to be kept by elves. And you are the protectors of this child, and, well, that sorry sack of a man who was inside, well, captured by the spiders, clearly. Don't worry about him. Don't worry about him. But you come from Thranduil's halls, and you are not elf friend. In my experience, nobody traverses those halls that is not elf friend and leaves without being imprisoned or sentenced far away, let alone on the elf king's path. And he scoffs when he says the word king. You are not elf friend. Please explain yourselves. And he gives you a very clear response for you to answer.
Well, we had a meeting with Sir Linda at the at Lord Thranduil's halls, and our friend Feanor was pleased to see his people and his father again. But due to some rash decisions from my friend here, she may have offended Sir Lindar a little bit, and although he was willing to let us leave to protect Sir Beldor and young Belgo here, he made it abundantly clear that he did not really look upon us favorably from that meeting.
Ah, I wonder why that might be. And he looks to you, Jalen.
The mistake was mine and mine alone. I own up to it. I tried to conceal the weapon when we had been asked to surrender all.
You've got
I have since
spirit.
apologized.
But
Sorry?
you've got spirit in you. But I will say, the fact that you are able to depart that place without as much as, well, I would say 50 years of imprisonment for betraying such a thing, clearly, word of your deception had not reached the ears of King Thranduil. However, the King of the Mirkwood realm, the King of the Woodlands, he is no friend of mine. The fact that your deception passed under his nose intrigues me. And he looks down at Belgo, and Belgo's whimpering. And what about you, little one? And he lifts up basically his face with his finger. Are you, elf friend? You and your papa? I'm gonna have Jalen roll a d20 for me.
Uh-oh. Why do I have to do it?
You're sitting next to him.
Oh man, I got it. Oh no. I got a 2. That's not good.
Tonight's not been our night.
No, we've been rolling horribly.
Sir, he kind of like nods a little bit, like forcefully doing so in order to not meet his eyes, but he pulls it straight up as he like gazes sternfully into his eyes. My ta and I are friends of the king. He's been so good to us through the years. And he basically removes his chin, and Belgo's head slumps down, catching himself. By the way, you are in shackles, and your shackles are tied behind your backs. They're not just simple ropes, they're like metal shackles.
Gotcha.
I don't like being lied to. Even if your actions did offend those in the Woodland Realm, clearly you were trusted enough to be able to do this task of escorting friends of King Thranduil. Do you know why I hate the Elf King? Neither of you have any clue, by the way.
Huh?
Neither of
Was-
you have
was-
any clue, by the way.
Was he?
I
or-
just kind of assumed that this was a rhetorical question.
Yeah,
that we weren't
we're
supposed
trying
to
not to
answer.
interrupt because we don't want to be executed.
Yeah. Good. You quick listeners. Listen. Hear the words I speak, for they carry the weight of truth. Simply put, I despise all mortals. And he takes a step back and he looks at all of you with disgust. Every race, every tribe, every wretched being that stains the sacred land of Middle-earth. You are a plague upon this world, forever causing pain, inflicting betrayals, and reaping the rewards of elven knowledge and talent. You have the audacity to claim responsibility for the successes from the help of our kind, yet place blame upon the elves when something goes wrong during all of your failures. You are nothing more than parasites, leeching off our creations and guidance. Always needing looking after, always demanding our assistance, and never truly deserving of our trust. In my eyes, you are mere animals, beasts of burden. Pawns to be manipulated and used for further elven prosperity. If it were up to me, I would subjugate you all to the eternal service of the elven race. You would bow before us, carry out every command, and exist only to serve our whims. Look at King Thranduil, a feeble lord of the woodland realm, tarnishing our name by treating the realms of men and dwarves. It is a sign of weakness, a betrayal of elven purity. Mortals should kneel before us, trembling with fear and awe, not be pandered to and bargained with. Even your loyal companion, and he sits down and he gently pats Rufus. He serves as the perfect example. A mere beast, trained to cheer you up, follow orders, and be used as you deem fit. As you humans reduce this companion to nothing more than just tools for your amusement, so do I wish to reduce you as such. Every member of your kind is pathetic. Do you want to know what true freedom is? And he gestures.
I mean, sure.
He smiles and smirks a little bit, but then his face becomes stoic once again. It is doing whatever I want, whenever I want, for the betterment of me and my people. It is asserting our dominance, our prosperity, and crushing anyone who dares stand in our way. That is the fate you mortals deserve. Tremble before me, if you will. I am Megalyn, Lord of the Wayward Elves. I know your kind all too well. Years upon years of seeing greed and hatred melt into your hearts, into your souls and very beings. You are incapable of understanding the beauty of Elven sovereignty, the purity of our purpose. But fear not, for I shall enlighten you, one way or another. He calls over to two guards that are at his side, and he has them stand them up. Now, you say you are not friends of King Thranduil. Well, that remains to be seen. Yes.
Well, if it does make you feel any better, I'm kind of avoiding King Thranduil because I almost spilt wine on him at the celebration of 5 armies, and he was very upset with me. So, like, as long as you're not taking me to go see him, you know, I'm kind of fine.
Do not bore me with your prattle, boy.
Okay, it was just a funny anecdote I thought you'd enjoy.
He walks over to Belgo. He holds his hand out, and immediately placed in his hand is a mallet. Small interruptions. Have I told you that you need to learn your place? Was I not clear with you? Not only have we granted you the grace of saving you from becoming those spiders' next meal, I have been more than patient, more patience than you deserve. If you refuse to play by my rules, fine. And in an instant, with swift punishment, he takes the mallet and crushes the hands of Belgo. And Belgo screeches out.
There's no way I could have jumped in front of the mallet, is there?
Make a dexterity saving throw.
Okay. $19.
19. You do so. And this crushes deep into your shoulder as your basically body slumps into him. You have officially received 8 points of damage.
Holy.
Oh yeah, I'm down.
And as your lifeless body, as the life begins to be drained from your body, he stands up. Now, you. And he looks at you, Theodric. Your friend's sacrifice has prolonged your life, but a mere bit. I will give you 3 options. First, First, you can serve me. I am no friend of King Thranduil, and I am gathering forces to overthrow him. Overthrow his rule. Yes, you are not elf kind, but I can still see that you are a nice strapping young lad who can hold a sword and a shield. You can serve under me. 2, I can send you west. We have a group of renegades that follow under a king, and he does like very obvious quotations. It seems our interests are aligned, but we can send you westward. And from there, you can either make the decision to follow us from the first decision, or you can die a slow, painful death. Or, third option, we can make it quick and swift. I need no answers. Not now. I'll give you to the morning. In the meantime, look after your friend as her life wanes. And he forces basically all of you to be stood up, and you are brought over to makeshift stockades, and you are each placed in them. Belgo needs a crate to stand on in order to be placed in it, but you are all currently in the stockades as he wanders off, seeing basically Jalen's near lifeless body slumped in the stocks, and the two of you watch him as he wanders off up the elf road.
Cool. So do I make death saving throws, or?
I'm going to have you make death saving throws for me.
Okay, cool. I already rolled them. So.
Okay. First one?
Do you want me to
Yeah.
DM you, or how are we gonna do this?
Feel free. Let me know what's
Okay.
going on.
All right. So the first one was a 1,
Okay.
Oof.
and then I got a 14,
Okay.
and then I got a 7.
As you lay in the stockades, Theodric, you see the life slip away from Jalen's lips. And there is no longer any breath within her, no sign of her life. Her eyes, closed, glaze over as blood trickles down into a small pool at her feet. Jalen has died.
Jalen, that's not really funny. Come on now. Jalen, wake up. Oh, this isn't funny. Oh boy.
This continues onward, more and more into the night, as Belgo just stands there weeping, as Jalen, lifeless, hangs. An icon of complete sacrifice, protecting Belgo. Moving over to Feanor and Valineth. The two of you, your bags are taken out from over your eyes. You are still in chains. But you are in a tent, and you are seated. Around you, there are about 6 guards. And you see the very same man, elf, standing in front of you. Mallet still in hand behind his back. Well, well, well. What have we got here? And he kind of takes a look. Who are you? And what is your purpose through these here woods?
Valineth speaks up, and he's like, "My
By the way,
patience."
So, Valineth, do you want
Neither of you.
talk first, or
neither of you
shall I?
have no idea of anything that just had previously happened.
Yeah. Well, Valineth, the first thing he's gonna say is like, "Where's my patient?
Yeah, no,
Where is he?"
Yeah.
Patient. Oh! You mean him? Well, that lump of spider flesh, of spider meat, as it were. Well, we took him off to get some healing so we can get answers from him, but first, let's not worry about him. Let's worry about the two of you. And he sits down and he reclines. He puts one foot up on the table, and he has the kind of mallet that he's swirling around on the table. Feanor, make a wisdom a wisdom check for me.
Four. Can no one hear me? No.
Yeah, no, I got
Yeah, we
I
can
got
hear
you.
you.
I got you.
I got a 4.
He looks not familiar in any slightest, and none of the elves around him you can't recall any of their faces. They look like complete strangers, but they are very clearly elves of Mirkwood. Tell me, who are you? What is your purpose?
Well, I am a Feanor the Lactuin, and I am serving as a guard for a merchant who, as you called him, Spider Meat, and his son through the Mirkwood, along the elf path.
Ah, yes. Rebellious child, that is. Or perhaps coward is more the word. Continue.
And I am Valineth of the grand city of Rivendell, out west. And my patient over there, and he gestures, is in my care. So please give him good care.
Indeed, we have someone who is on the job, is going to make him fit as a fiddle, and we are going to do what we can, focusing right here on, and he calms down for a second, the matter at hand.
Yes, Sir Elf, what is the matter at hand here?
Valineth, Feanor. Well, you were traveling. I had a brief word with your compatriots. Back at your camp. I'm glad that you found it. Hopefully the water tasted amazing.
Did it taste amazing?
Can I try and insight if these are the ones who put the wrong water into it?
Make a insight check for me.
Valineth just kind of wants to get a vibe, if he can, just looking at this dude.
Yep,
and...
make an insight check.
I got a 12.
Okay.
Sorry guys. Skills. Insight, you said?
Mm-hmm.
That's an 8.
8.
Rolling so bad today. This is the worst it's ever been.
Feanor, his hint is enough to assume that perhaps he is behind this.
And what would a woodland elf be doing, tainting the waters of the rivers to drive people mad?
Well, what would a woodland elf be doing leading humans through our territory? You know the Greenwood is sacred to us, and the fact that you're so willingly able to accept those of the mortal races, I think speaks a lot to your character. Perhaps you don't know where you were born and what gifts you were imbued.
Is that all? You have nothing? Yeah, no. Mortals are pretty neat.
No.
I've spent my
In fact,
years
you can
going
tell
around
he is getting like a little bit. No, in fact, why would I be, corrupting water such as this? You're a young one. Perhaps you don't know the ways of the wayward elves. We function solely on preying on those who come through this here wood. Travelers, mostly. Caravans are our, main targets. It is our way of being able to survive when the shadow that has come so graciously from down south has begun to plague these woods. We are fighting for these woods. We are fighting for freedom. And if I can take, what precious cargo you have, from travelers, anywhere, in order to prolong our, well, conquest here in the north. We will do what we can, but the fact that one of my kind, something I have yet to see in my 3 years out here on the road, I can't believe it. But clearly you must have your reasons. You do not look like an elf. You do not look like you belong from the woodland realm, yet you are son of Lindar. What gives? What's with the getup? Do you treat with those from the outside, or do you hate them just as we do? All of his attention is completely directed at Feanor.
No, mortals actually, dwarves, humans, halflings. Have you ever met a hobbit? They're quite interesting. No, they're actually quite a good company. More so than apparently wood elves seem to be, considering the hospitality. But I'm dressed in the most comfortable garb that I can imagine. I cut my hair short so that, it breaks with tradition. It allows me to function better in combat. And the clothes that I wear, I've gathered them on my travels.
His eyes narrow. Never in my life have I met one like you.
Good.
You are interesting to me. He immediately turns over to Valineth. An elf from Imladris, an elf from the people of Elrond. You, most importantly, should understand the grace that elves have. You being an elf of high descent. Tell me, Master Valineth.
Yes?
Who do you serve?
Valineth ponders a moment, and he is racking his brain, and he's thinking, and he repeats, who do I serve? That's a difficult question, Master Elf. May I have your name, first and foremost?
Pardon the rudeness. My name's Maeglin, and these here are my elves. We are the Wayward Elves here in Mirkwood. Perhaps you've heard of us. If not, that's all right. We are trying to keep our presence here on the down low, but we are also attempting to gain followers. But first, I must know who you serve to see if our interests align in order to be completely transparent. Elf to elf, of course.
Elf to elf, and I appreciate that, my friend. I am an elf of Imladris, as you can see. My lord is King Elrond, or is Lord Elrond. And as you know, do you know much about Lord Elrond?
What I know is he lives in a hidden valley, hidden from much of the world. He doesn't do much business with those from the outside, and those that he does are ones that he deems worthy, while perhaps he is not the shining beacon of elven civilization. And this, immediately, you're just, bewildered by this. While he might not be the shining example of elven civilization, he serves, well, perhaps more closely than that of King Thranduil, who has been a betrayal of the elven peoples.
I don't know much about King Thranduil myself aside from them being distant cousins of mine. However, if I've learned anything from Lord Elrond itself, it's that to protect, because the life that the Valar give isn't light. They don't give it lightly. And my skills, as you might have assumed, based off of my kit, my patient over there, my skills are to heal. And that goes for regardless of who it is. Maybe I don't necessarily serve any mortal or immortal here on this earth. However, I do believe it is my job for those who are in need to help those who are in need.
I'm going to stop you there, Valineth. These words that you speak of, I think perhaps we can make use of you yet. Yes, I am gathering warriors, but at the same time, healers are much more difficult to come by. Most especially those who have been trained in the halls of Elrond. We have one healer ourselves, not nearly enough to be able to, well, suit our needs. Valineth. Feanor. Clearly, from the looks of you, you have no problem insulting the king of the forest. So perhaps you have ears open to listening to such things as well. I'm going to be blunt with the two of you. And he kind of starts tapping like the hammer kind of repetitively down on the table that he's sitting at. My sole purpose, and he kind of smiles and smirks, is to bring an end to the realm, well, the rule of King Thranduil. The wayward elves, we serve as beacons of freedom for elven kind. And those who do not recognize our superiority, things that we are imbued with upon our very given life, they will serve us. We will not treat with them equally as the Elf King does. But we are far from being able to, let's say, assault the borders of the Woodland Realm. We make our guerrilla strikes at them every chance we can, but the borders are secure. The hunters, at King Thranduil's command, well, they are the key to overthrowing the King of the Woodland Hall. Outside of what we have here, I have an army of men at my back. While they might not feel like they heed my every call, oh, our interests align. I promise you that. An elf from the Woodland Realm, and a high elf of Imladris. Tell me, perhaps we can let you free if I can trust you, but that remains to be seen. I'll give you options. One, you can serve us, till such a time where I can gain your trust. And, if that doesn't quite happen before the overthrowing of King Thranduil, being part of my court. Or two, you can prove your muster that you will not go running your mouths to the first person you come across throughout your trails throughout Mirkwood or Wilderland. By doing one thing for me. Do you know of a woman, elf woman, named Ruithil? Feanor, yes, you do. Actually, this is someone that you served under. She is essentially the captain of Thranduil's hunters. So different than the rangers, the hunters are basically like out seeking targets to go kill, as opposed to more protecting. Do you know of the relentless hunter, Ruithil? She, the captain of Thranduil's hunters, has pursued me and my wayward company through the depths of Mirkwood for 3 long years. It is by the command of the feeble King Thranduil himself that she seeks our downfall, fueled not only by our defiance to his rule, but also by the disdain from the mortal races and their actions of this world. And we have escaped her grasp more than I care to admit. She is relentless, which is why we must build our strength against her first, before the doorway is open to the king. Ruithil is a cunning and elusive, and knows these woods like no other. Her familiarity is every secret has made her a formidable opponent. She believes in the protection of mortals, seeing them as innocent victims deserving of our care. How foolish! It is for her relentless pursuit, her misguided sense of justice, that I desire her demise. She is known to be the wielder of a legendary bow. Perhaps you know it. It goes by the name Penbragle. It's a staple of the head of the hunt in Thranduil's halls. And while I will be more than happy to keep it for myself, I shall offer it as a reward. A tantalizing prize, I think. Should you provide me with the knowledge required to bring Ruithwil to a swift end. This bow's origin, well, they're shrouded in secret. And with nigh unbreakable mithril bowstring, each shot rings deadly and true as if magic guides every arrow. Valineth, Fëanor, speak now of your knowledge. What do you know of Ruithil? Her tactics, her weaknesses? What have you observed during your activities in the 5 years following the fall of Smaug? I seek insight into her character, her vulnerabilities, and her connections she may have to Thranduil's plans towards my people. And now this brings the pivotal question. Will you join me in my conquest of the Woodland Realm? It is a decision that will shape your destiny and that of your companions. And he gestures backwards. Your fates are tied with them. And should you refuse, well, I shudder to think at what tragedy might befall each one of you.
Valineth puts up a hand to Fëanor in case Fëanor is planning on saying anything. And Valineth says, Fëanor, I think I've got this. We will do what we can to gather information. I will not lift a bow. I will not lift a finger in this fight, you do say. That is not where our strengths lie. Fëanor here, as well as myself, we're not men of combat. No, we are men of scholarly learning. We'll do what we can to gather information. However, I'm afraid you cannot put us into battle. We're nothing but scouts and guides. That's all we are. That's all we mean to be.
Why is it that I believe you? But not every word that you say rings true to my ears.
Well, I am an elf of Imladris, and you are an elven brother of mine. I have no deceit on my lips, Sir Elf.
He looks at Fëanor. He examines
As you
him.
yourself pointed out, I am quite young. I haven't had the training. Yes, I know basics, but I'm still young.
Well, then it
I
is...
haven't even been within the Great Halls of Thranduil for the past 5 years. I visited once, very briefly, when I was traveling with Elgo and Baldur. Since the desolation of Smaug, I haven't been at the halls.
He smiles and chuckles. I believe you for now. In part due to your companion, and he points over to the tent that Baldur has been dragged into. Clearly you're not that capable. You let that kind of demise befall him. And clearly, your youth has taught you not much. To go into the spider's nest, attracting their attention immediately. Do you not know what they are capable of? How quickly they descend upon prey? I have lost many an elf to their demise, but they do serve useful, clearly. They have brought us a healer. And perhaps, Fëanor, the Loch-Duin, you can provide your worth as well. I will let you stew for but a moment.
How close is he to me?
He's probably about a good 10 feet. He's sitting like at a table. You're both like sitting in chairs.
Okay.
Your hands are like chained behind you, essentially.
Yeah. Okay, no, all good then. Don't worry about it.
Okay. And with that, he stands up and he says, "I'll let you stew on it. By morning, I will see you reunited with your fellow companions. But I only see this fit and fair. But with our rescuing of you, we will take your stuff, we will take your belongings, we will equip you with what you require in the service of us. But we will take everything that you have." And he looks at Valineth. And Valineth, you look down to your wrist, and the vambrace of Numenor is not there.
The heck? I can never catch a break.
I spent ages getting that back.
Never catch a break.
You've parlayed with men in the past. And you, he sees you audibly look at your wrist. You, Valineth of Imladris, you look studious. Do you not know your history?
Of course I do.
Well,
That's like all he knows.
That's like all he knows.
perhaps you will come to learn my understanding. Mortals are not to be trusted. Once, we did trust them. The Numenorians, which clearly you pay homage to some degree. We trusted them. Yet they brought under their wing a great evil. Sauron. And it was due to the weakness of men and their betrayal that Middle-earth is in the state that it is now. If it were completely up to the elves, and if we were to, well, if we were to be able to have dominion over him at the time, the Dark Lord Sauron would not have regained power. The woods would not be in the way that they were. They would be the greenwood that we knew. Once you get it through, I can see your very acute skull, that men are not to be trusted. Perhaps you will be of great value to us. But until then, you will serve us.
May I speak words, Sir Elf, to you?
Yes.
Words,
Speak.
words of, I should say, from a scholar to another scholar. Yes, I carry a vambrace of Numenor. And yes, that may be the case, that the Numenorians themselves may have brought a great evil into the world. However, as a student of history myself, one that has lived quite a while here on this earth, on this Middle Earth that we call home, it is up to us to learn about that history, and it is up to us to appreciate the history, the good and the bad. Because the failures are meant to repeat themselves if we do not learn properly. So I make a plea to you, good Sir Elf, that you don't let vengeance, and you don't let, how to say, you don't let hate of the past get to you. Instead, you need to learn. I mean, I'm a high elf, I come from Eladris, that's what I spent my entire life doing is studying. And if I've learned anything in my long life here on Middle-earth, think about it. Don't let vengeance rule you, Sir Elf. I'm not asking you to change your ways, per se.
You're talking on false ears, Valineth.
That could be correct. However, everyone has the opportunity to change their mind at some point. And I just ask that you look at things logically. I ask that you look at things and you look at the past appropriately. As a scholar, I'm not asking you to necessarily change your worldview here. However, it is important to not just know your history. but to learn more about it and to learn how to be a better person from it. Just keep that advice in the back of your mind, Sir Elf.
Valineth, you're talking on deaf ears. He believes that he is stopping history from repeating itself by trying to subjugate the races of men.
Feanor, that may be the case. However, right now we are in the service of this elf. And so, as a scholar, it is my job to provide counsel to him. However much he is willing to listen, that's up to him. Isn't that right, Sir Elf?
I knew I was going to like the two of you. Both of you, Feanor, Valineth. An unlikely pair coming to our aid at our time of need. Well, I will leave you here to sit upon those thoughts, and until morning, you'll give me your true answers, and perhaps, if your information, if your words that you give me do ring true, we will create the greatest realm of elves that Middle-earth has ever seen. And he walks away with his guards continuously keeping track. Feanor, I'm going to have you make a perception check for me.
Yep. A 10.
You watch him as he walks away, and rage begins to fill you. He turns the corner up the elf path, and you turn to the right, and you see this tent. And you can see a head peering out. The head of an elf woman. You recognize her immediately.
No.
This is Corinthial. And with that, we're going to end our session for tonight.
Oh my god.
Oh
my god. I feel so bad about this session. It's such a good session. It's such a good session. I feel so bad about this session, though.
If he was sitting directly in front of us, Feanor was going to headbutt him and try and jump over the chains from behind his back and then strangle the crap out of him.
Wait, Nick, you're speaking double, buddy.
Feanor so badly. If he was within range, was going to headbutt him.
I'm glad he wasn't.
And then he was going to try and jump over the chains with his hands behind his back and strangle him. and going to say something like, "My respect is earned, not demanded of me."
and this is the youth that Valineth speaks of that won't get you far in the way of this game and have two dead companions as opposed to just one.
Okay.
Hey, well, he'd like my moxie.
Valineth and Feanor don't even know that Jalen's dead yet. That's what's getting me right now. That's what's getting me.
This is just how Feanor would have reacted. I'm just saying, someone basically demanding he be their slave, more or less. He's not taking that.
Oh yeah.
Well, but that's also
with that. 1 second, guys. We're running quite late over time, and I know it's getting late. I'm gonna go through and give you all a chance to speak, but I'm going to top you all off at about 3 minutes each. Okay. Okay. No tangents, no interruptions or anything like that. But we're gonna go do that. I'm gonna go ahead and jump to Feanor. You are currently in what you were talking about. What are your thoughts on tonight's session? Boiled up in 3 minutes.
Oh my god, the spider thing just went so, it just felt like it went so badly. It was supposed to, I initially thought, look, we'll go in, maybe we have to fight a spider or two, but then I can slip past, grab Boulder's body, and we can run out. But it was so bottlenecked, and, they were so oppressive, and, it was just so overwhelming. We couldn't move, we couldn't do anything. There was just times when nothing could happen. And then, yes, we got saved at the end, but we lost Rufus, or what we think we were sure we've lost Rufus and lost Jalen, and he doesn't even know about it. Feanor's going to be gutted. As if he's really going to serve this dude once he finds out about that. Valineth, you're going to have to try and physically overcome him from ripping this dude's lungs out of his body.
Don't worry.
Oh, no.
Some tricks up his
yeah.
And I will mention one thing about the
poison them. No, but
I will mention one thing about the spider encounters. So this is actually designed to be easier. without the fact that you alerted them turn 1. So it was a turn limit thing. And so you had to survive a certain number of turns, either escaping or with the result that you got. So the fact that you all survived, and again, like a lot of you were so near death, it was unbelievable. But yeah, so you guys did a good job. I will tell you, you did a really good job. You poked away at spiders, and well, I mean, this happens. This is D&D. But continue. Sorry, you have 1 more minute.
But no, it's fine. Yeah, it definitely feels gutting, and it's like it won't ever be the same, even if we, encounter another adventurer who's willing to travel along with us. It'll never be the same.
Can you still hear me? Just double checking.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And with Jalen gone.
Can you
still hear me? Just double checking.
It's never going to be the same without Jalen.
You're double again.
Oh my
god.
It's never going to be the same again without Jalen there, and Feyenoord's not going to take it well. He doesn't get angry very often, and all he's been trying to do is keep everyone safe, and he couldn't, and this dude is the specific one who did it. Even if Feyenoord has to play along with it, he will be the thing that ends this thing.
Jalen.
Timing is good. Timing is a good
Can
thing.
I go last on my thing? I want
Yes.
to hear everyone else.
Theodore.
Obviously I'm gutted. Here's the thing. I thought, I was doing pretty okay in the spider encounter. I was like, oh yeah, sweet, I've still got 14. I've still got 14 health. I've got 14 health, and we're evacuating. And then Savage Taller hit me once, and I was like, oh, I'm down to 5 HP. That.
Not Savage Taller.
Thank
Not
goodness
Savage
it
Taller,
wasn't.
just different.
He's
spider.
bigger.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's bigger and scarier.
The spider hit me, and I was down to 5 HP, and I was just like, yikes.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously Theodric's pissed. He'll probably play along with this guy for now, but he's got vengeance on the mind. He's angry. He's pissed. God, he must have so many points of shadow like Melgor.
Yeah, he is the shadow. I was mentioning in chat. That's the thing that's going through his mind. He's talking all about Sauron and stuff. I'm like, you're the spitting image, dude. Take a history lesson.
Yeah. So yeah. I don't know what else to say really. I'm still kind of shocked.
And that's a good place to go to Valiant.
Yeah, I have a lot to say about this, but I'll try to keep it quick and to the point. That was the most oppressive combat I've had in quite some time. Partially because we had Belgo with us, and we had other animals and stuff to take care of as well. And the fact that they just kept coming, the spiders. It seemed very unsurvivable. So I am actually proud of us. Our rolls were terrible, but I think we did a good job positioning ourselves well to be able to kind of spread out the load a little bit. I think Fëanor and Theodric really did their jobs. And I also think Jalen and Valineth did their jobs too, protecting Belgo and spacing it out well. So I actually think the spider encounter, even though we didn't roll well ultimately, we did a good job with the placement, which was nice.
I do say the fact that you were able to survive and not get attacked and take damage every turn, that's a big thing. These spiders they're pretty scary. In the grand scheme of things, who knows? But they're still pretty scary, especially for level 2 party. That is when you're vastly outnumbered. And so the fact that all of you were able to resist so many points of damage, and honestly, it really, really, really was fate. Interceding on some of those rolls where
nat ones and stuff.
Just nat ones that one turn where there was the entire round where it was the TPK is gonna happen, and the entire round is natural 1, natural 4, natural 7. It's oh my gosh, 2 natural ones. It was crazy. Anyway, sorry, not to take away from your time. Go.
No, you're good. And Valineth, this has been my worst. This was my worst rolling session of all of them, hands down. The amount of below 10s I got is crazy, especially on my perception. I have a +5 to perception. I don't think I rolled above a 10, including that modifier on a perception check today. But going on to the end, and this is where I really want to focus on it. you can really tell. Yeah, you can really tell like the difference between each of the characters, and that's what makes every character unique. Like Jalen has that selflessness that she will sacrifice herself to be able to do that, which is an amazing character plot of hers. It's sad, of course, that she's dead, but again, it was her own doing and it was her own choosing. I think that Feanor, in a certain sense, he's holding very true. I'm very proud of Feanor for being like kind of going along with Valineth with that. I mean, I'm sure you can see where Valineth is going with this. Basically, bide your time till a point where you can make your move, basically to either escape, but to try to preserve the lives of everyone and not let anger get over you. And actually, Valineth, he wants to have, at some point, please have Valineth have a conversation with Feanor at some point, please, because he wants to actually talk about this with Feanor. At some point. But, yeah, Valineth's blood's boiling. This doesn't stop the fact that he just absolutely hates what's going on, and he sees this as the complete opposite of what elves should be. And hopefully this is a growing point for Valineth, but he's going to do the best to preserve the party, and hopefully, I mean, him hoping that everyone comes out alive, which obviously he doesn't know that Jalen's dead, right? So it's just, it's emotional for me as a person, as well as for Valineth. So that's my thoughts.
Perfect.
About
Jalen.
this.
Okay, finally to me. Okay, one thing I did notice about the scary elf dude is he was like talking a lot of about the greed and selfishness of humans, but like, who's the actual one being greedy if you want to enslave all those other races to do your bidding? Hypocrite. But
that's like the essence of pride, is like you rise above
legit.
like all of the things that you're like downing someone about. So yeah, I got it.
Yeah, legit. And it's just Jalen just doesn't vibe with that sort of thing at all.
Yeah.
Spider fight was really fun. I really liked the fire, and the fact that no rocks were thrown. That was huge thumbs up. I was kind of annoyed with myself because, like, I know Valineth was saying that, like, everyone sort of seemed to pull their weight, but, like, I only did, like, 2 damage the entire fight, not counting what Rufus did.
I mean, positioning,
was more
though, was
effective
important.
than me. Okay, you're not allowed to interrupt me. I'm still on my 2 minutes. Okay.
I'm just agreeing with you.
I'm talking very quickly so I can get all my thoughts out. Obviously, very, very devastated that Jalen is dead. I had a lot of plans for her, like she was going to go back to the Brelands and meet with her father and everything. Anyway, not super important right now because she's dead. Yeah, I'm actually absolutely gut-wrenched that she died, like, doing that, but, like, it felt like the right thing to do at the time, and I don't think I regret it. And at the same time, I'm actually kind of glad that I was the one to die, and it wasn't, like, just Jalen trying to cope with the loss of one of her friends, so blessings?
Or Belgium.
Who knows? So yeah, I had a lot of stuff planned for this. Like, I feel like, I feel like we did, like, the found family thing, like, really well, just straight off the bat. Like, the whole group really bonded and meshed together really well, so it'll be interesting to see, like, how that affects the party going forward. And you know, obviously I'm gonna replace Jalen with Tad, so we're gonna see how that's gonna go.
No, you better not. You better not.
Kyle's giving me the nod. That
You need a sweet catchphrase for Tad.
I'm gonna be throwing rocks at him constantly.
Right, I will. And also I think it's, like, really super sweet that like, part of her final words to Feanor, at least, was, like, the inspiration that she did. And I actually changed the last line of it because I sort of read it for, well, Jalen read it for herself, and the last line was, "My resolve must never shake," but for, like, an inspiration, I changed it to, "Our resolve must never shake." So I thought that was really cute, just something I'd little share behind the scenes. And yeah, I'm devastated, but I'm thrilled how this is going to affect the story moving forward.
I know it's gonna be something. And again, thank you all for your continued efforts, your continued role play, and just, you know, you guys played smartly, and at the same time, like, I loved, like, the emotional attachment that you had to everything that was going on, and, like, you play your characters so genuinely that it's devastating for me when things happen. And so it's one of those things where, and like you might be confused on why that happened. Theodric, and no blame on you, but it was the smart aleck comment at the end of what you said that led to the. Just FYI.
I legitimately thought he would enjoy it. It's not my fault. He's a hard ass with no sense.
I know.
of humor.
No, I totally get that. I 100% get that.
He's an elf.
Yeah.
He's gonna learn his lesson. Theodric's gonna teach him some things.
Yeah, I mean, next session will be something.
I mean,
it'll be interesting.
If anything is going to teach him about humor, is Valinus non-stop puns.
Oh no, I'm
That's the plan.
gonna do some sick one-liners as I run him through. Like, it's gonna happen.
Hell yeah!
Just this
Makes
next
Jalen
week,
proud.
you're going to be writing it up. I like it. But for me, of course, this was a crazy session. Like, I feel like everything's been escalating up to this moment, and just like the everything being where it is, and it just makes you realize that it's like nobody's invincible, especially in low level D&D. Nobody's invincible, and it's just, yeah, it'll be interesting. It'll be fun preparing for next week, but it hurts me just as much as it hurts you guys. I don't take joy in just like decimating and playing like the worst people imaginable here, but you know, got to create some heat within
it makes it realistic, and it makes emotions rise. That's for sure. So.
But that is where we're going to end our session for tonight. Before we reach super duper late, really quickly, we do have a sponsor here, Daisnaki. They're a Japanese sweets and luxury treats company. They sell Japanese sweets. Their omakase box is popular Japanese sweets. Their omakase looks box is traditional, and then they have their kawaii box, which they have an assortment of things. You could get the original one that has like anime goods. They have a Sanrio box, a Disney box, a Nintendo box, and a Pokemon box to choose from. And within the next few days, I think they should be coming out with a summer themed box. I still gotta get in touch with them and talk to them about that, but that'll be coming soon, I think, coming around the bend. But with that being the case, make sure when you order to mention that Fantasy Forge sent you, and also you'll get coupons and fun stuff, and it helps us out. And then additionally, mention your stream name, as you'll get tickets for the raffle when we hit that limit. They're gonna give away a free box for Fantasy Forge. So thank you guys so much. You guys are amazing. Thank you to my players. You guys it's always such a joy and such a tragedy to be able to spend time with you. But until then, this is Kyle, Fantasy Forge, signing off, and may the road go ever onward and onward.